It's
Hey, welcome to another Saturday morning fun time show. I'm glad to see some of you guys are already here. Let's see who's here. We got Martina Costa Santana, our good friend Zax, and of course, the Time Prophet is here in the chat. Keith is running behind schedule. It's been a crazy week for him, so no stress. I'm always here. I got nothing better to do. So, what's this you said, Time Prophet here? Brooke Bond was alternate Bond 2, played by a chimp. I don't even know who that is. I really don't. I'm going to have to look that up real quick. Brooke Bond. What on earth is that? I can only find a T manufacturer. I don't know who that is. If you got some information on that dude, share that with me because I don't know. I've got no idea what you're talking about. Oh, Deanna is aware that we are doing a show because they were yelling a minute ago outside the studio. I wanted to bang the wall. I tried calling her and tell her, "Hey, I'm getting ready to start the show. You guys can stop yelling now." What does Martin say? Martin says, "Okay, I'm finally asking, where's that intro from?" I paid for that. I paid for that. Oh, wait, you're talking about when he's running up. That's from Monty Python, first season. I think it's actually the first episode. When every episode it would be the same character going a long distance to finally get up to the camera out of breath and go, "It's," and then they would do the opening titles, the animation, Monty Python, "It's." And I always love that. Brooke Bond was a T in Britain. Okay, yeah. Chimp played Brooke. Okay, see, I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, if you got any, if you can find some commercial or something, man, send those to me. I'll show them during the show. But I'm going to wait to really get into the meat of this. But I guess I could give, my personal opinion on the Craig films. I'll give you my subjective and my objective opinion. Subjective is when it's my personal opinion, and objective is when it's based off of technical information on how to do things. My subjective opinion is I liked Craig. I had problems with some of the choices that he made. Morning, Brett. How you doing? Well, shoot, what is it? You're. I don't even know what time it is in Australia. It's like tomorrow, isn't it? You're tomorrow. Oh, look at that, Deanna. Martin liked your review. Outstanding. A lot of people did. I've gotten a lot of comments that they'd like to see more reviews from Deanna. But basically, with Daniel Craig, you had Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and then this last film, No Time to Die. And Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, really, in my opinion, that could have been the end of this Bond, because that was the story arc, really, right there. The bookend films. But they decided to continue to do more, and they had introduced. Well, they didn't have the rights to Spectre, so they started getting into. We got to create an organization. In other things we had Smirsh. I'm trying to remember, was that Man from Uncle, I think, and Chaos for Get Smart. But they couldn't get the rights to Spectre, so they started coming with an idea, and they came up with Quantum is the name of this organization, and it's basically Spectre. It's just the new name. Pop Culture Minefield left you a Brook Bond link in the group chat. All right, let me go over there. Take a peek. I'll take a peek-a-poo. All right, open link. Open link. I'll share my screen. Share screen. Diggity. Share audio. All right. There we go. Oh, Keith's here. So we're going to show a video that the Time Prophet shared. This is Brook Bond for Brook Bond T over in the UK. And it was done as a chimpanzee James Bond.
Okay.
The films you've been waiting for, straight from the files of the British Secret Tea Service.
My name is Bond, Brook Bond.
Meet T, Bond's boss. That's me, Ada Lot.
You called?
The films they didn't think possible on your screens now.
Morning, sir. Is it about the big bag?
You called?
Now, gentlemen, we must safeguard the secret. Big bags, more room, and the flavor, the special flavor that makes PG Tips the nation's favorite tea. Admirable.
If you get caught, Bond, use this converted tea urn.
What's a converted tea urn?
About 15 quid a week.
It's awful.
Wow, that is slightly better than Lancelot Link.
I'm going to go look because it was in the 80s, so clearly I think it was inspired by Lancelot Link. Here's another one.
You, my prisoner, Brook Bond. In tongues, don't frighten me.
Hasha! You will tell us honorable secret of PG Tips.
That's not racist at all.
No, sorry.
They will miss you in London.
I just got back from China.
Oh, Peking.
No, but I had a jolly good look.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was bad. That was very
Was
bad.
that Peking? No, I had a jolly good look.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Do you need to go to the house?
all right. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Deanna says, I felt like rambling, scared, dumb deer doing it. Thank you. Good eye, Zax. And everybody's being friendly in the chat. So I was just basically doing my personal. Oh, wait, we got more. Brook Bond was better than Daniel Craig. I don't know.
Wow.
Wow. Elderly voice. I was brought upon the wretched world in a good old year of 1973 in a non-English speaking country. Well, of course, I was doing an old man voice without the Hispanic sounds, the accent. But yeah, you're 9 years younger than me. So, Dad Man's Walking is here. Good morning, afternoon. Good afternoon. What is it? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From was not Ed TV. What was that movie with Jim Carrey?
Oh, that's the Truman Show.
Yeah, Truman Show. My first contact with Bond was the submarine Lotus car. Dude, I got to tell you, man, I wanted that because Corgi put it out. Corgi miniature cars. Because I'd gotten the Batmobile from them, and when they put the Lotus submarine car out, I was just dying to get it, but I couldn't afford it. It really sucked. I really wanted that car, and the trailer of Moonraker, whose space shuttle I had. Yeah, well, What I thought was interesting was Moonraker was the Eon Pictures attempt to make Star Wars, because everybody wanted to have a Star Wars movie, and so that was James Bond's response. What I liked about that film was Jaws was turned into a good guy, and because he'd been the villain in the previous film, and then he comes back, and this time because of love, he becomes a good guy.
That was all part of look. A lot of that stuff is about the contributions of Eon Productions and their producers. And so what they did was, in having Jaws and having the Southern Sheriff as a part of Roger Moore's version of Bond, in many ways matches the whole Doctor Who thing of every different Bond having their own group of characters that are kind of essential and or special to that particular version of Bond. That's, I enjoyed it, although when I actually began to read the books, I found out how much they were adding to a lot of the films, and those characters and what they eventually did with a lot of those characters contributed to a lot of the differences between the films and the original books.
Right.
So
yeah, and hold on, what does Time Prophet say? Even bad guys have gray areas. Yeah. Actually, in the Moonraker book, they didn't. No, it was Zeppelin in the book, and it was being flown over London, and it was called Moonraker because it was crossing the moon.
Yep.
But they took the name Moonraker and said, we can run with that and make it sci-fi.
Yep.
And make it a space station. Drax was a good villain. I mean, he was your typical fun Bond villain. And he got his comeuppance. I loved when Austin Powers did a parody of it.
I think Drax was also the motivation for Everything or Nothing, the video game, which was part of the Pierce Brosnan portion of it. It was an original video game that was meant to be like the movies. So they went ahead and invented a villain and then invited in all of these named actors to make appearances in it. And Willem Dafoe was the villain for that. And he was, if I remember correctly, there is a connection between, what's his name, the villain in Roger Moore's final movie, A View to a Kill. That villain is the mentor of, is supposed to be the mentor of Willem Dafoe's villain in Everything or Nothing. And both of them were under, I think, Drax. I think that's the connection that they tried to run in the game. And so
I've got the trailer here. If you want to, I'll play it a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think I should do the audio or
no? Just play the. You don't have to do the audio.
Because I'm always nervous about us getting hammered for it. We'll find out. Your first Bond film was Dr. No. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the GoldenEye game was awesome. I played it when it first came out, but I prefer the updated version. Even though it annoyed me that they put Daniel Craig in it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like Daniel Craig, but it's a Pierce Brosnan film. Don't put Daniel Craig in a Pierce Brosnan role.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really shitty quality.
Well, at the time when it came out,
No, I'm talking about the video.
Oh, yeah.
So they only offer it in 240p. I bet it would look better in high def. It's got some good action in it.
Oh yeah, and for an original
Yeah, I'm going to
story,
shitty quality video.
it is very well done. I have to say that once you defeat the game, it unlocked a video with Pierce Brosnan talking about
You're breaking up.
was probably the first. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, his Bond was probably. He was joking about the fact that his Bond was probably the first Bond that many people within the video game era probably had more experience with him in video games than they even did in the movies. EA did a fantastic job with the Bond rights. A lot of the games and stuff that they put out there were very well done.
I very much enjoyed Bloodstone.
Really?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
See,
it was a first-person shooter. Well, third-person, because you're over his head.
Yeah. That seemed to be one that a lot of Bond fans didn't really care for. But I mean, if you enjoyed it, you're one of the first that I met that have.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I bought it. It played a lot like Battlefield or any of those third-person video games. For the Craig era, the only Bond movie I really like is On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yes, I know I'm an apostate, but hear me out before going for your pitchforks and torches. I'm not going to do that. I understand it. It's not a bad film. I'm not a fan of it because I didn't think Telly Savalas was a good villain.
Yeah.
And I thought the movie had a TV movie quality to it. Visual effects and everything, and the overall feel of the film felt like it was made for TV rather than a big Bond epic picture. But they had some really good elements in it. I love the romantic aspects of it. I love Tracy.
It's the first Bond movie that I remember that actively put Christmas in there. So to me, it's always felt like a Christmas
holiday film. Yeah, you and I talked about that before. What is this? Must interrupt myself. Hello, Keith.
Hello,
was Martin. Sean Connery really is my second favorite Bond. I don't know. I'd like to say that Daniel Craig is my number one, but the fact is, every time Keith and I start talking about Bond, I go back to two of my favorite films, which is, of course, Timothy Dalton. And I really like Timothy Dalton. He's a better actor than any of the Bonds.
And he was the only one that really tried to treat the Bond
he tried to
books.
bring Bond from the books.
Yeah.
And, he didn't want the cheeky one-liners. He wanted to have Bond as the character he is in the book.
Yeah, he wanted to cut down on the gadgets, and he wanted to go with the kind of person that Bond was, as far as being this character that could basically travel the world and do whatever he needs to have done. And with the books, Ian Fleming never really dreamed up a lot of the stuff that the movies had. So in the books, you're basically
became more of a big character because of the films. And because I can't even recall him even being that big a character in the books. Are you there? I've lost Keith. Hello, Keith. This is Boris Karloff. But we were talking about it the other night because one of the people that was wanted to play the part of Bond was Christopher Lee. And Christopher Lee is cousin to Ian Fleming. And that's why he was wanted. And he also had the long face, which is very similar to that of which Ian saw as Bond. Bond looked more like singer-actor Hoagie Carmichael and in his descriptions. and Christopher Lee is closer, even though he's got a pointier nose than Hoagie. He has a long face, and I think that's one of the reasons why he thought he'd be perfect for it. Not to mention, in real life, Christopher Lee, besides being a great actor, was an actual killer. He worked for OSS and assassinated and was in operations quite often during war. In general, I don't like Bond mostly because I find the whole lair and uniform henchman ridiculous, even as a child. Yeah, well, it was all the Adolf Hitler thing. You know, Hitler had lairs. Hitler had henchmen. So all your villains are loosely based on Mussolini and Adolf Hitler. Alfred Hitler. Good old Alfie. But I'm not aware of the importance and significance of the series, and though I myself do not enjoy it thoroughly, I can really enjoy conversations like this one. Well, I mean, everybody's going to have a different opinion on this. Keith and I are really kind of close in how we feel about these things, but we're slightly different. I am a Timothy Dalton fan, followed immediately by Sean Connery, followed immediately by Daniel Craig. I think Pierce did a really good job in Bond, but his really only good movie wasn't even the whole movie. It was just the opening of, what was his Bond movie? The one with the ice, the castles and stuff, the houses and invisible car. I thought it was so dopey. But it opens in North Korea. And that whole opening scene going into the titles was a movie. And I preferred it over anything else he did, just that opening part with the opening titles. That was a really good opening. Before he became famous as the creator of James Bond in the 1950s, Ian Fleming, 1964, yes, he died the year I was born, was an officer in the Royal Navy Intelligence Department. Yeah, he was in many ways the father of the Dirty Tricks Department. And they talk about it in his biopic. It was not a bad mini series. It's pretty good, but I think they sexied it up more than it really was. He never saw action, but he helped people that were seeing action, including his cousin Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee was part of that action with the OSS. Let's see. Carried out by true fans who really love him. Yeah. Don't forget Ian Fleming's other classic novel, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Of course not. Fucking love that. Onions also have layers. What are you, Shrek? James Bond was always about the Cold War. Yeah, sort of. You got to remember, he came up from World War II. Even though a lot of the themes to make it contemporary was about the Cold War, a lot of the elements were based. I mean, Drax is straight out of World War II in Moonraker. He was very much influenced by what he saw and did in World War II and some of the people he worked with. I don't mind Timothy Dalton. I don't just not mind him. Look, he's a very good fucking actor. He's a classically trained Shakespearean actor, and he brought some gravitas to the Bond character. Because even though I grew up on Roger Moore was sort of a cheeky guy. He was very much about the humor of Bond, and even the sexiness aspects of it. There was Live and Let Die had a real threat feel to it, whereas the other Bond films, except for The Spy Who Loved Me and For Your Eyes Only, were really cheeky films. Those two films were more in the vein, along with Live and Let Die, of being more like the book Bond, where he's more serious. When he's being funny, it's almost out of either sarcasm or out of irony. So, but the Casino Royale Craig film, I haven't seen it yet, the original Casino. well, the original, if you're talking about the CBS Playhouse 90 uh, short film, made for TV short film, was American. It's not very good. I got to be honest with you. Peter Lorre is in it, and it's not very good. Or are you talking about the 1960s Casino Royale that had Peter Sellers, David Niven, Orson Welles, and Woody Allen playing Bond? Again, that movie freaked me out as a kid. It was so weird. It was like nightmarish to me. But I don't own the film because I really don't want to ever watch it again. I haven't watched the new Bond movie and probably never will. I did, but only because I'm compelled to do some things. Watching a Bond film, even if I'm not going to like it. And I got to tell you, there are elements in the film, moments that were really Bond. But you could see where that Fleabag writer actress stepped in and wrote stuff that didn't make any sense. It was just dumb. Just dumb. You know, she's a stupid writer. She really is. It's nonsense. Absolute fucking gibberish when she writes. David Niven made a good Bond. I don't know. I mean, I remember the film from when I was a kid. I haven't watched it as an adult. I was always angry about it as a young adult when I found out what they did. I was kind of sneaky and underhanded. I did, because it really isn't another film. It's the completion of Casino Royale. It's the completion of that story arc. It's just it starts seconds after the film. The beginning of that film is seconds after the end of the previous film. So yeah, and for me, I just consider them one film. Wasn't that keen on that one either. Hated Die Another Day. Yeah. Yeah, Barbara Broccoli, she's done her best to honor her dad, but the Daniel Craig films, I feel that Cubby was rolling in his grave, not happy about it. I couldn't imagine him being happy with those films. Well, except for, I think the first two stuck to Bond. No, I've never seen his iteration of The Saint. I saw one with an actor that I can't think of his name. He reminds me of Simon McCorkindale, but I didn't like that one either. And then they redid it a couple of years ago, and I didn't think it was very good either. They only got the pilot movie, and that was it. They didn't get greenlit for a series. To me, I love the original series. I love the original films with George Sanders. Those are classics. And then I liked the Val Kilmer movie a lot. That was a fun film. The Time Prophet says, strangely, I like Tomorrow Never Dies. That plot of wars being manufactured by media in order to, oops, never mind. And that, of course, is a complete throwback to the Spanish-American War that was started by Randolph Hearst. He lied and started a war. You know, because the media is there for us. No, it's not. It's there for itself. We've learned. I mean, they're gutting CNN right now. And if you're not watching, you need to be watching Culture Casino on his coverage of what's going on with CNN, because it's all connected to Warner Brothers and Zaslav. They're gutting CNN. I don't think any of their TV reporters are going to last. Their TV personalities are going to last. I don't think any of them are going to last. I think everybody's going to get shit canned because of all their connection to what happened with Cuomo. It's embarrassing. I didn't see any of the Dalton movies, only trailers. I think he portrays a very good Bond. You can see he has a lupine face, very wolf-like. And I've always been a Dalton fan. First time I remember I saw him in oh my God, The Lion in Winter. And he played Philippe Augustus of France. And that was a really good movie. Peter O'Toole, Katharine Hepburn. And it was also Anthony Quinn's first starring role. Not Anthony Quinn, Anthony Hopkins. Great fucking film. If you've never seen it, you need to see it. Casino Royale was the best Daniel Craig Bond movie. There's no question about it. I felt it was in many ways one of the best Bond films since Connery. And don't get me wrong, I love Dalton, but the films weren't as great as they could have been. I just liked him as Bond. I'm crossing my fingers. I think he would make a good Bond. He was really good in Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yeah, the Roger Moore series? Heck yeah. Tomorrow Never Dies is an underrated film. Tomorrow Never Dies. Try to remember. That was the one with the newspaper, wasn't it? Which one was that? I always got to remind myself of the plot for each one. Because they oddly often use titles that weren't associated with books or associated with other books that are adapted. It's really weird what they do. Yes, that's the one with the newspaper. Elliot Carver, played by Jonathan Pryce. That was a good film. Oh yeah, that was a very enjoyable film. And it is underrated. I'm sure they used him. I like Rupert Murdoch, even though I think he's a crazy bugger. His kids are fucking assholes. Let's see. Roger Moore also played the Saint, and then Ian Ogilvy. Yeah, Ogilvy. Years later, Murdoch's media was caught in. Oh yeah, the phone hacking thing. Yeah. Well, he was great in Flash Gordon. The MiGs in GoldenEye was rendered on an Amiga 4000. I remember that because that was one of the big selling point of the Amiga. And people, because they were trying to sell me one as an artist. And I'm like, no, I think I'll stick with a PC. Wait a minute. What was that soundtrack for? Yeah. Oh my God. Ever since he played Darkness, in Something Wicked This Way Comes, God, he was good in that. But he can also turn right around and play a really good guy. Because he's a very likable actor. But Jonathan Pryce is just one of those good actors. He's good in almost anything he's in. But I remember him most for Something Wicked This Way Comes. But there was this odd film, Jumping Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg, that he was in. I enjoyed him in that one too. And of course, he was good in Game of Thrones. No, there was no doubt. But I knew one day they were going to get caught up. The Amiga it was so expensive, but it was a cul-de-sac. And I avoid them. That's why I won't get Macs. I had a G4 Mac when I was working for a magazine as their artist. And I got so frustrated with that thing. And I ended up just giving it to someone else and brought my own computer in and worked on my own computer because my computer was powerful PC. I had a friend of mine built it for me. And I did all my work at the magazine on that fucking computer. And the senior editor didn't like it, but well, get me a better computer. That's what I told him. Not, I'm using mine. And so he just let it slide. Oh my God, I always forget about Brazil. What a great film. And don't get me wrong, I think Terry Gilliam is a pretentious snob, your typical elitist, but damn it, he's made some good entertainment. I built an Amiga 1200 tower. Graphics card. Shows it. Yeah. Yeah, and I came close to buying one back in the 90s. And I couldn't bring myself to do it. All my, my work PC and my home PC both were very, quite powerful. And it allowed me to do all the graphics I needed to do. The only thing that frustrated me was the rendering time, because they were slow rendering. They take forever. I'd get up at the end of the day. I'd do my renders at the end of the day, and then they'd be finished by the time I came in the morning, if God willing, it didn't get the blue screen of death overnight. And I don't know if Keith's coming back. Maybe we should call him. Let's call him. We'll call Keith.
Hello?
Hey, are you coming back to the show?
I thought I was. Oh, I thought I was on the show because it looked like, from my point of view, that you had disappeared. That was me?
Yeah, you.
I've been talking this entire time.
Yeah, I've been talking for you, and just sort of waiting for you to come back.
Oh, geez, dude. Okay, I'm on my way back in.
All right. Bye. Did you hear that? He thought he was in the show and then I'd been kicked. So he's been talking to a dead camera and mic. Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. It took 3 hours to render a wine glass on my Amiga. Yeah. I mean, actually, if you're talking in the 90s, 3 hours is actually pretty fast. I did a multi-layered digital painting for Rockwell International's Meritor division. They had these trailers that needed a giant painting, sci-fi like painting about their diesel engine, and I did this huge fucking painting, and it was printed on the side of the two trailers, and that on my PC took 9 hours to render when it was done. There's Keith. So, yeah, we've been talking back and forth, and I'm of course reading everybody's comments. Let's see. Keith says Keith has left you high and dry, but Keith didn't know that. Are you there, Keith?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I was laughing because I'm like, he's been talking and had no idea he's talking to a dead mic and camera.
No, from my point of view, it looked like your feed had stopped. So I was carrying on as if I was still on the show. And it was like, hey, everybody. Well, look, let's start with this.
Hey, everybody. Every time you say it, it
sorry.
makes you think of that character from Dr. whatever his name is on Simpsons.
Simpsons? Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor says, hey, everybody. See, good day to you, Pop Culture Minefield. The lovely Sherry is in the house.
Hello, Sherry.
Yeah, we've just been talking about some James Bond. And so let's really get into this before I get back to the chat, and then I'll catch us up on chat. So basically, look, Daniel Craig steps in, and I don't know when the decision is made, but I think it was right from the very beginning that we are rebooting, not soft rebooting, we are rebooting Bond. By going back to the beginning. We finally got the rights back to do Casino Royale, because that's why there never was an official Casino Royale, because they had lost the rights. When CBS got the rights to do it for TV, the Playhouse 90, they never got the rights back for decades. And that's why you ended up from, well, Columbia, wasn't it Columbia Studios?
It was CBS Studios
Well,
because it was there.
Which was
Yeah.
Columbia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Columbia CBS made the Casino Royale movie, which is, I never liked it. It scared me as a kid because it had nightmarish, weird shit happening in it. And it freaked me out as a kid. And I've never watched it as an adult because I just don't want to. Because it left me with so many bad feelings as a kid. And James Bond should not leave you with bad feelings of nightmares. But we finally got the rights back. I say we, I mean Eon, got the rights back. And they were able to make, finally, the first James Bond story that introduces him. But in order to do that, a decision had to be made by Barbara Broccoli that they were going to reboot James Bond. But what began as a reboot ended up becoming an encapsulated its own universe. This James Bond is not related to any other James Bond. Why they kept Judi Dench as M, I don't know.
Well, I think I have a theory. I mean, she became very recognizable, and she was an easier figure to bring over.
I
than
just
a lot
think
of
that
the
it was
other
a bad
actors.
idea because it causes confusion.
I think they wanted that confusion because this was
Are you talking like
gonna be
Ghostbusters 2016 confusion?
kind of. I mean, seriously, if we had gone into this film thinking that this was going to be a reboot, there would have been some people that would have never have come to it. There would have been some people who never really would have given it an opportunity. And even though you had a brand new Bond with Daniel Craig, who was taking over for Pierce Brosnan, the excitement came in that we were telling a story from the very beginning of Bond's career. So there's kind of excitement in that. But at the same time, you know, people had become used to how the cycle of these films would go. You bring in someone new, you sort of insert them, and you go on. Now fans are fans like you and I.
I'm laughing at what Dead Man Walking, because your screen was on there and you were just like not talking, and I'm just like, I guess he's gone. Because I asked you a question, you didn't answer, and I'm like, I think we've lost Keith. I figured you'd just come back. I'm sorry I interrupted, but that was funny. Let's get into this chat here. Let's see if we got any comments. I think the wine glass was only, oh, really? Well, I mean, you got to remember our monitors and shit were kind of small back in those days. We were looking at things at very low resolution. I mean, when I do my comic book art, my digital comic book art, Richard Bonk could not ink page 1 of that comic I'm doing with, that we're doing together. And because when I sent it to him, I forgot I had drawn it at 600 DPI. And that's it. 11 by 17 at 600 DPI is just fucking huge. And he's like, Gary, I can't print this and draw this. The lines in this your detail is just too much. So I was like, oh shit. And I'll give you an example of it. I'll just show you real quick. I ended up having to ink my own artwork. And I felt bad. I told Richard, I will draw only at 300 DPI now because it's acceptable resolution for printing if he's going to ink my work. But let's see, let me go to my projects. And God, I can hardly wait till I can make the announcement on this because I'm not allowed to really talk about it. But because I'm not done with the ink shed on this. I'm going to go ahead and open it. We're going to turn that off. I always have the guides on for measuring when I'm doing my artwork. Here we go. Share screen. Ooh, I got to hold on. The title of the book is on there, and I can't have that. There we go. Blacked out the name. There we go. Share screen. Boom. Share. And what he was complaining about, I really understand, because at 300 DPI, that's about how big it is. But now you start seeing all these details I threw into it, and this is reduced down. I reduced, this is at image size. That's at 150 DPI.
Oh.
And you can see there's still a lot of detail in this thing that I had to put in, but I can do that digitally. He could not do that with a pen and ink. But I like the way I did the space anyway, because I use Jack Kirby ink dots for space. You remember how
Kirby's the man, yo. Yeah,
if you're going to steal from the best.
that's right. A lot of these newer comic book people need to learn that.
And there's an atomic explosion I got to finish inking. That was the original pencils. And I got to finish inking the earth. Whenever you see X's in comic art, that denotes black. It's just solid black. This is all supposed to be solid black. So there you go. That's some of my artwork.
Wow.
I can hardly wait to finish that book. We'll see it done probably May, June of next year. It'll be done. Graphic novels take forever. I had one take 24 months.
Wow.
Greetings to you, OBG 70?
70.
I wish I could see that graphic for his avatar. Let's see. Sherry stuck around all day yesterday. That was awesome. She's such a sweetheart. And I really need to talk to Time Prophet. I really need to talk to you, because there's some stuff that we've been wanting to do. And I can do traditional animation, but it would take me years to finish it. That could be done more quickly, taking 2D artwork and turning it into, putting it in a 3D environment, but doing animation with it. I mean, that's how they started doing South Park. And they could do a fucking show in 6 days. Have you seen that documentary?
Yeah. They did a special episode about how they did a South Park episode. And
it's 6 days to air. It's a documentary, and it's the Human Centipede episode where Kyle Broslovsky gets his mouth, or gets people's mouths sewn to his butt, and the Japanese guy, he's got his mouth sewed to the Japanese guy's butt. You should eat the cuttlefish. No. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. That's a fucked up movie. I mean, episode. Thanks. We'll be putting more on my page. Written out. Very cool. Dr. Nick Riviera. Yes,
Dr. Nick.
Hey, everybody. When Keith says it always triggers that in my head. Let's see. Yes, I consider the Craig series a different reality. Because it is. Don't just consider it. It is.
It is
not,
because
continuity.
Look. For any of you that have not seen the latest Bond film, what I'm about to say is a huge spoiler. So if you haven't seen it, just turn down your sound or turn away for the next 5 minutes, okay? Ready?
Or come back in 5 minutes. But don't, please.
3, 2, 1. The death of...
Whoa. Your voice. You sound like a Cylon right now. Say something again.
The death of...
Whoa. I mean, it's cool, but goddamn, man. Unplug your mic, plug it back in. I don't know. Or leave and come back in.
I may have to leave and come back in.
Yeah, do that real quick, and then we'll get into it about reality. No, it's just me. But yeah, don't just consider it. It is its own universe. That's I can't. I'll wait till he comes back. I think they're influenced by Batman Begins. Go ahead, put your screen on, Keith. Your background. Your background. There you go. I think they were influenced by Batman Begins rebooting as well. Well, I don't think it's just that. It's like that article that just came out on MovieWeb with the interview with the guy who wrote or directed and oversaw the production of The Bourne Identity. And because he wanted to do a James Bond film, and they were like, fuck off, we only hire English directors. So he went off and made his own Bond because he wasn't good enough for them. But then they turned right around and deliberately stole from Bourne Identity for the whole new action. The feel of the new James Bond was based off of Bourne. So it was ironic. But it was inspired by Bourne because basically there was an interview, if you remember this, with Pierce Brosnan talking about that very subject, that because of the Bourne Identity, the Bond film was changing, and he was having problems with that because of his age, doing some of the stuff they were wanting to do. And that's what led to them deciding to recast Bond. And then when they went through the whole process, the rights were regained for Casino Royale. And immediately the idea came in, let's just reboot. But it's not just a reboot. It is a single encapsulated series. And it really is. And you said this the other day, Keith, that this really is what should have been a television series and was potentially going to be a series on television or web. It could have ended up on Netflix or what have you.
Well. What I was meaning was this was an idea that had been approached and approved by Ian Fleming before he died, and that he wrote many of his
back
later
with
stories.
CBS wanted to do it way back,
and he started writing a lot of stories and other things that would do that, but that once he died and the series never got picked up, these, before he passed away, I should say, a lot of these became like short stories. He had written short story versions of a lot of these ideas. And then eventually
short stories, by the way, are perfect for movies.
Yes. But the Bond producers didn't really adapt them that way. They, again, were used to changing things, which is part of the reason why you had someone like Timothy Dalton, who had a problem with that, because he warned the Bond producers that what they were doing was not tenable for the long run. You're cannibalizing these stories to try to pump up the
whole
action
thing
factor.
That takes place with Felix Leiter, that whole scene with the shark and everything, that was from Live and Let Die. It was left out of the movie.
And
he gets his arm and leg eaten.
His idea was that you should just be adapting the stories without trying to pump them up a different way, or else you're going to basically put yourself in a whole world of hurt. You can't keep that up, is really what he was saying. And that his idea of what eventually they ended up doing, which was License to Kill, is really the prototype for how they would make the Bourne films. Because that was more in keeping with what Ian Fleming had wrote as what James Bond was like. And so, in my opinion, the director of the Bourne films, while I will give him credit for, being original within the way that he handled that series, as far as taking credit for it, you got to give it back to the Bond people, who, along with Timothy Dalton, created what is that template that they used for the Bourne films, and eventually the Bond people would come back around and do that for Casino Royale.
It's happening again with your voice. Now your voice is gone. Yeah, something's up with your mic.
Wow. Okay, I have to fix it.
Okay. Until then, I'm going to go ahead and address some stuff here in the chat. I use technically the computer I have. It's very powerful. It is. It's got a tablet screen. What do they call it? Glass. And I can draw right on the screen. The problem is because of my neck, I can't reach to draw on the screen. But I bought a specific Wacom tablet that allows me to put this right on my chest, so I'm not affecting the damaged nerves in my neck and arm, and I can just draw straight here on my chest. It's one of the things I do. If that answers your question. And Brett, that was good. That's why I laughed while he was talking. I wasn't laughing at what he was saying. I was laughing at what Brett Cohen said. Let's see. Never was a big Bond fan. Bondage, maybe. Okay. The lovely Sherry. He was great. He was my Bond too. Yep. Roger Moore, Live and Let Die is my favorite. Look, that is one of the best Bond films. And it was an odd film in that it was also the first Bond film that was made for American audiences, specifically for American audiences. That's why it was shot in America, and all the cars were American. And a lot of people don't know that Ford owns the Aston Martin company. So, yeah, it's why you almost only see Ford cars in Bond films. Let's see. There's Keith. Pop Culture Minefield. I use Clip Studio Paint. It is better brushes than Photoshop, and you can lay out comics better. However, my graphic tablet drawing is not up to much at the moment. Well, that's okay. I've been doing it for a long time. I want to welcome our porn bot of the day, Susan Brickman. Thank you, porn bot. Let me hit block on that. Okay. Oh, an error occurred. One of you guys already blocked it. Okay. Martin says, for fuck's sake, Gary, you had to remind me of the existence of that movie. Yeah, Ghostbusters. Sorry. Let's see. Is it cool with you that I share your webpage link? And you guys do those voices so well. I'm always doing voices because I hear characters in my head all the time and lines from movies, and I'll end up doing them. I mean, just by chance, I was goofing around because someone asked if I was ready, and I'm like, I'm ready. And it's like, holy crap, I can do SpongeBob. Davros. Yes, you can share the link, but some things will change soon. I feel like I'm privy to a private conversation. We're government employees. We're reading people's private chats.
Oh, is that it? Is that what we're doing now?
I don't know which movie you're talking about. I'm hoping it's not Ghostbusters 2016 you're talking about. Yeah. It was Art with an F. Fart. Got to go view to a kill first Bond movie. Love the title song. And with us diehard Bond fans, that is one of our least favorite films because Roger was too old. He should have retired. He got a lot of criticism at the time, if you remember that, Keith.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just really didn't look like Bond anymore. But it's a fun film, and you got Christopher Walken as the villain. It's one of the two times he's played a major villain. He was the villain in that, and he turned around and was the villain in 1992's Batman Returns.
Yep.
And definitely check out Time Profits. There you go. There you go. I wanted to add some more images. Well, you need to do that. We should have you on just to show your stuff, dude. Be kind of cool to have you on, buddy. Message me privately about it. Seriously. Get you on. It'll be fun. Martin Acosta, I invited him on the show, and he goes, I wouldn't even know how to do that when I sent him the link. It's like, I wouldn't even know how to do that. I'm like, okay. Some people don't know how to do the whole studio mic camera thing. It's confusing, but it's real easy once you figure it out. It's like, or technically when somebody shows you, because that's what would happen with me. Someone showed me, and I went, oh, that's easy, because somebody showed me. Pass, but yeah, this is where I feel like I'm privy to somebody else's conversation right now. I'm just reading it. They're talking to each other. I'm a spy.
In the house of love.
Nobody's going to call Ghostbusters from 2016. They're still sitting there waiting for the first phone call. I will contact you later today via your contact page. Maybe you could give me an estimate. There you go. Look at that. Our show got you a potential job, Prophet. There you go. Live and Let Die has the best Bond. I would say that it is the number one Bond song, James Bond film song, theme song in the history. But what's interesting, even with that song, is the use of specific chords and measures. They always follow the same premises for every Bond song. And that's why you'll always catch that little theme, rhythmic theme that plays in every song, how they write them. I like the Alicia Keys White song. What was that one?
Jack White song?
Yeah.
Another Way to Die.
Another Way to Die. Fucking love that one. The first three Bonds movies had great theme songs, and after that, just garbage, just crap. It's like, let's slow it down even more than Adele did, and it's like, okay, that song put me to sleep. The next one just this little, oh my god, this new one was just so bad. She could not write a hook to save her fucking life. And if you know music, you know what I'm saying. A hook is where the song really grabs the listener.
Yeah.
The song has a hook, and it's a theme. When the theme kicks in and it turns, that is where it becomes an earworm, and it gets into your head. She just monotonously keeps singing the same stuff over and over again. Her melodies are always the same. She's a boring singer. Keith's piano. I don't know if his piano has strings in it. I think it's fake. How about Thunderball or Goldfinger? I mean, look, they're not horrible. What's her name that sang those? Bassey.
Shirley Bassey.
They were catchy, but not great. You did not get a great Bond song until Live and Let Die, and it exploded on the scene. I mean, it flew up the charts. And don't get me wrong, Bassey songs, they always did well, but it wasn't until they introduced Paul McCartney into this that they introduced an idea that a big artist should do the theme song to every movie.
A current artist, yeah. Actually,
current.
The idea of bringing in a current artist actually occurred to them back in 1967, around the time that they were doing On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And so the first modern band that they were considering was Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And they decided not to use the song they came up with. So...
Well, exactly, Time Prophet. They're good songs. Goldfinger, come on. They're good songs, but no, they're not Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney knocked it out of the park with that song. It is not just one of the most memorable Bond songs. It is a classic fucking rock song.
Especially when you read the lyrics to that song. I mean, it is quintessential Bond, you know. So
And while you were gone, I was talking about that. It was the first Bond that was specifically targeting the American audience and intentionally shooting in the United States and using American cars. It was a big thing. Stuntman got injured running over the alligators.
Mhm.
Those were real alligators. Those weren't props. Trying to remember, there was another injury on that film. Oh man, I can't remember now. Brain farts. Getting old, man. I'm telling you. Let's get back to the chat. Deleted scenes. Hey, buddy. It's Tom Jones, the Time Prophet. Freaking Tom Jones. But to reach its own. Yeah, Tom Jones is shit. Yeah, the two singers my dad listened to a lot of that were popular at the time, not just from when he was younger, was Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck.
yeah. Tom Jones, though, was a dangerous, dangerous man when he was younger.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa.
I mean, danger us. And if what I heard about the dude is let's just say at least one woman had to go to the doctor after spending some time with Tom Jones.
What are you saying, Martin? How about a little project consisting in all Bond movie watch parties? Are you suggesting that we should do watch parties? Because I don't know how to do them. And I would love to do them properly. I know that a lot of the guys, like Steven, does it with that stupid other media program for gamers and stuff. I can't stand it. I have it on my computer and I just don't use it. But I would love to do a watch party, and because I wanted to do it with Blade Runner. He said, "You Blade Runner." I don't really do watch parties. I like to watch on my TV and hate it when someone talks if I'm watching a movie. Now in a movie theater, I ended a date very quickly when she started talking over a movie. And I'm like, I was looking around like people are looking at us going, why are you talking full voice? We're in a fucking theater, But I don't like people talking during the movies. At home, it's a little different. Because you have a pause thing. And when you're sitting with guys like Keith and I, we know stuff that happened behind the scenes. And it's sort of like having your own version of director's commentary, or what's that on VH1 with the pop-up videos, the bubbles?
Yeah, well, pop-ups, but I mean, you're right. It's more or less like a director's commentary.
Yeah, we just kind of pause it and go, by the way, in this scene, Keanu Reeves got punched in the nuts. Duran Duran did a good Bond. No, I like their Bond song. I even like Aha's,
Mm-hmm. They had a problem with, though, they had a problem, though, in that they disagreed with the composer. Because all
Duran
the
Duran?
songs... Yeah, no, Aha.
Oh, Aha.
Aha had a problem with the
Oh,
composer.
Aha. Oh, Aha.
They disagreed as to how the mix and a certain portion of the song were, and so when the movie came out, they ended up going with the composer's version of how they did it rather than Aha's version. And in interviews,
Well, Aha is not the final say in the production.
I know
It's always the composer.
They were very mad, and he was not happy with them. He considered them to be the worst people he had ever.
Well, that was really kind of stupid on their part to assume too much like that.
Yeah,
they should have known better. Yeah, Paul McCartney's good at music, I hear. I was in a pub grill back in 82, and Benjamin's mother and I were on a date. And there were these these kids behind us. It was on campus at William and Mary, and I heard these kids behind me, and the guy says, "Yeah, Paul McCartney was in a band before. It's called Wings." And I jumped up out of my seat and turned around, looking over the booth. I said, "The Beatles, for Christ's sakes! He was in the fucking Beatles." Sorry. Then I went back to my meal. Ben's mom was just like, "Oh my god, oh my god." Sorry, he was talking so loud.
The thing about
Wings.
it, I can see you doing that. I can actually see
True
you
story. Absolutely did it. And it's not the first or last time I've done that where I correct somebody on saying something he thought was profound. And I'm like, "No, you got it completely wrong." Guns N' Roses did a good version. Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. And I'm not even a big Guns N' I hate Axl's. What's his name? The singer.
Axl Rose.
Yeah, I can't stand his voice. But I love the music. And that's a great version of the song. Let's see. Deanna says, "Getting old. Thought you were already there."
But
Oh, yeah.
support. Nothing like support.
Thanks, baby. You're so sweet. Tom Jones is actually Welsh. Yes. I'm half Welsh. Which half?
He's very
Which
Welsh.
half is Welsh, time prophet?
And from what I'm hearing, even the brothers got to respect what he's carrying. So
it's like I always tell people, I'm just simply 88% Celt and 12% adopted Celt. Yeah, it's like I just don't even want to admit to the other 12%. Fuck that. French, German. Well, there's the 1% because I did the DNA thing, and I got that thing because Shane and I share that in connections that I'm 1% part Ojibwe, also called Chippewa. Watch the Get Back. Oh, fuck, dude. Are you kidding me, Mark? Of course we watched it. It's amazing. Incredible moment watching Paul compose Get Back within 5 minutes. Fucking, when you get inspired, dude, stuff starts flowing and people think, "Oh, man, you must have spent hours, days, weeks." It's like, no, I wrote about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. In Britain, people do not cheer in. Oh, no. Yeah. We weren't always told off by the usher if we look in all of Europe. It was unheard of for a long time for people to make noise during live musical performances. It wasn't until really the last 25 years that you started seeing European audiences cheering, really, because it was considered a rude.
Yeah.
But fucking Americans, we get around the world, and next thing you know, everybody starts copying the stupid shit we do. They copy the good stuff too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but there's the stuff like if nobody understands us, we talk louder.
Yeah. Or the worst one is when you put a fucking accent to what you're saying. Do we have a car? Like, the Frenchman were like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Even though one time I was in a taxi in Paris and I told him the name of the hotel I was staying at. And he looks at me like, I don't know. And I could have said it to him in French, but I decided to just be my typical military self. And I said, "The name is in French, asshole, and I know you know where we're going, and I know you probably speak a little English. So get us there or there's no tip." He just turned and we drove off. And that was the end of that moment. My mom met all the Beatles when she was a St. John ambulance nurse in London. That's awesome.
Wow.
I have one little tiny story that I got to go into a recording studio with this girl when I was 13 years old. And in the studio were these three guys with white hair recording. And 2 years later, I bought their album, The Police. I didn't know who the hell they were. I'm like, what is with the crazy white hair? Didn't look blonde. It was platinum white. It was crazy. And so I was like, holy crap, I saw those guys. I wish I'd stopped and talked to him. I didn't think about stuff like that when I was 13. I was too hot on the girl that was taking me.
Well,
she was like a model.
You probably would have been able to get something out of Stuart. Stuart probably would have talked to you. Andy probably.
Yeah, I was a drummer, so my dad is Welsh and my mom is English. Yep. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Monty Python right now with your mother's. Oh, what is the line the French guy yells? Your mother is something, and your father smells of elderberries. Your mother is a hamster, and your father is a hamster, and your mother smells of elderberries.
That's it. That's the way it goes.
You silly! It took me. I think I was like in my 20s when I finally figured out what was funny about Kniggets. When he says, "You silly English Kniggets." And I went, oh, night. I get it. He's just pronouncing the G.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. To watch. I can watch back now. Let's get back now. It's on Disney. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. I watched it before it hit Disney Plus. I get a early copy, and man, I couldn't believe how good it was.
Yeah, it looks like it was shot yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the film footage is so clean, and he cleaned that stuff up digitally. My mom is just a dead parrot. This parrot is deceased. It is an ex-parrot. Yeah, one of the greatest Monty Python skits of all time.
Yeah.
And with that, I've got to do this one. Where's it at? There it is.
And now for something completely different.
There we go. I've got a whole bunch of clips from Monty Python that I play in the background.
I will say this, though. There is a Monty Python documentary, I think, on Hulu. I think it's Hulu, that everyone should watch.
It's on Netflix.
Netflix. Very informative.
Morning, Dork.
Very, very informative.
Yeah, and they have some other stuff on there about Graham Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good behind the scenes stuff. Don't forget 4 Candles. But Dork, do you want to join us here talking about Bond today? I thought you said something about wanting to join us. I can't remember. Yesterday was a blur. So much happened yesterday.
And for those of us that tuned in yesterday, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And
did you see how many views we had? It was 375 total views.
Wow.
For the episode. And we went for 5 fucking hours.
I know.
I don't do that.
If we could have gotten everybody who wasn't already fans to just hit the like button and follow us and all that other stuff, just think how much closer we would be to 4,000.
You remember that time when you actually loved us? Let me invite. Hold on, where's my invite button? There it is. Okay. All right, I'm sending you in DM. Dork. It's so funny. Paulie didn't know that was his name because I called him Dork. He's like, Gary, why are you calling him Dork? Because his name's Dork Knight. But then I also call him Dork Nightly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of his name, you'll see it when he comes on, it says Dork Knight LV. But when it's in small print, I noticed that it looks like Dork Nightly. And so I just started saying it. I thought it was funny. In my head, it's funny. I don't even tell you I'm making a joke. I'm just saying it because I think it's funny in my head. Oh, wait. Where am I? Oh. Hi, Dork Mom. Let's see. Graham Chapman was in an Iron Maiden video. Can I play with Madness? I did not know that. I didn't know that.
Wow.
The Elimination Chamber? What the fuck are you talking about? Do you know what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. You just talking gibberish, boy. The only thing I have seen from Monty Python is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Well, that's enough. But I got to tell you, if you've not seen The Meaning of Life, you need to see The Meaning of Life. Mr. Creosote is one of my favorite moments in cinema history.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got, some great fucking lines in that movie. I mean, from the Mr. Creosote scene with John Cleese offering him a wafer thin mint. It's just a wafer thin, and he, I couldn't eat another. Fuck off! I can't eat another bite. Big fat bodysuit. It's just a wafer thin mint. All right. And he puts his tongue out and he puts it on there, pushes his tongue into his mouth, shuts his mouth, and he goes, bon appetit, and then runs because he explodes all over the place. And people start throwing up at the tables. I mean, oh my God, that scene is just so fucking intense. And then it cuts to the next scene, which is cleaning the mess up. And you got, what's his name? Oh my God, the one who got Alzheimer's. He's on the floor mopping, and Jean Cleese is talking to him. It's after hours, everybody's left, and he's smoking a cigarette, and his character is a woman. He in drag cleaning the floor as a cleaning woman. When it's all said and done, I'm just glad I'll never work for Jews. And he goes, chokes, shoves her down. I'm so sorry to the camera. I had no idea that we hired racists. Just you can't get comedy like that today. People are afraid of that shit.
There's no way you could have gotten any of that. I like the one with I like when they do the whole thing with the fish. Leading.
Oh my God, fishy, fishy, fish, fish. Whatever, God, that's an insane scene. It's like, to me, if I'd seen that as a child, that would have left me with nightmares.
Yes,
because it's so fucking weird. Let's see. Yesterday's stream really was, Dork. That was. I don't normally do that. I'm in for 2 hours and then I gotta get the fuck out of there. It's hard for me. But then I jumped right on with somebody else. I jumped on Mark May's. Let me tell you something. Mark May did his show yesterday. Not that many people watching, mind you, but he still managed to start his Kickstarter campaign for the comic that Sarah Frazetta, Richard Bonk, and I worked on. And by the way, Sarah Frazetta will be here on the 25th, TGIF. She'll be our guest. She's a sweetheart. I love talking to her. But we were on together last night, and before the end of the show, he had funded the damn campaign, and now they're way over. They're already extended and unlocking more stuff. It's amazing. No, Dork Mom, I will not wrestle you. Yo, Dork, why's your mom wanting to wrestle me? It's not right. That's messed up. I just turned in and heard Iron Maiden and then Monty Python. You have my attention. Yes, welcome to ADD Theater. The airspeed velocity and unladen swallow. That is our bath mat. That is on our bath mat. It's written on there. What, African or European? I don't know.
I can go ahead and play parts of that scene on my piano.
Actually, the one that we should do on your fake piano is the end of oh my gosh, the religious allegory film about Jesus. The Life of Brian.
Just look on the bright side of life. Yes.
Just look on the bright side of life.
That's definitely a film that a lot of people had some opinion.
And the funny part is the studio wanted that song on their voice thing when you're put on hold.
Mm-hmm.
And Art Garfunkel, I think, was the one who told this story. He says, I called in and I was put on hold and they were playing that song and it's got "Life's a Piece of Shit" when you look at it. And he goes, I don't think they know there's profanity in that song. You remember Art Garfunkel from Simon and Garfunkel?
Simon and Garfunkel, yeah.
He was telling that in an interview. I just cracked up laughing. Yes. Kefir mince, an after dinner mince. Fuck off. Couldn't eat another bite. Did like The Meaning of Life, but the other movies are better, but Meaning of Life was really their closeout film. I wished we'd gotten more before Graham died, and they've toyed with the idea of doing more, but they're never going to do it. It's never going to happen.
They are gentlemen of a certain age now, and it's not that it's impossible. It's just
with and I keep forgetting his name. He's got Alzheimer's now. You know, he's regressed. He can't perform anymore. Now, and they make fun of socialized medicine in the film too. The Meaning of Life, Chapter 1, Birth. And look, we've got the machine that goes bing. Now I have. Can I play with madness? And continues to play in my head. Worst things have been known to happen. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Is that somebody that joined? Yeah, look, there it is. That was who said that. Oh, hi, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. You are new to the show. It's really cool. Yes, I actually remember all of our regular chatters. I pay attention. I don't know why. Because it's a known fact that I love gatherings but hate people. And I'm just like the character from Clerks. But for some reason, I enjoy the one-on-one conversations. And when we get in this chat, I enjoy this. This is fun to me. Odd for somebody who's a severe introvert.
It's very interesting to watch Gary interact when we make convention appearances. So.
Yeah, but Keith well knows that it takes me a week to recover because I just go into my cave and I just hide because so much energy was taken out of me.
I'm the same way. It takes me about 4 days to recover.
Yeah, I know. You've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I am annoyed that we can see Keith playing that piano because I play guitar. Excuse me. I got up at 3:30. I've been up going since 3:30. I couldn't fall back to sleep.
That's about what time I woke up.
And once again, PJO, what the fuck are you saying to me? Dork Mom, I don't know what LOP is. What is LOP? Did I miss something?
Yeah, there's
you meant LOL. Okay. I thought she was fucking.
I think she was trying to say off with his head, but no.
Okay. Yeah, lop with his head. And of course, Courtney says hi to Sherry. Girls recognize each other in a bar. And no, the Elimination Chamber is a wrestling pay-per-view. Gotcha. Never heard of it. Sounds more like gay porn. I'm teasing. She was Christopher from earlier. I know. Come on, Dorknet. You already know me by now, for goodness sake. I'm going to say the most abstractly odd thing, non sequitur joke. I got to get my computer so I can tag people better. Oh, it's awesome. I have a T-shirt with a cartoon of the African swallow. See, we have a bath mat with that written on it. I just love that. And Deanna bought it for me because she knew what a big Monty Python. And by the way, when you meet my daughter, when she comes on here, you're going to discover what a big Monty Python fan she is. Once in a while, people catch the meaning of the shirt. Good stuff, Mark. Okay. Yeah, just join us when you want to, man. We are the knights and Zoe loves to do the whole, we are the knights who say icky, icky, bing, bong, ding, dong, whatever they say. I never remember it. She always remembers the line perfectly.
Yeah, it's definitely your kid there.
Oh, yeah. Wrestling is all fake. Well, look, the way we know it, that it's staged. That's what it's called. We don't call it fake. We call it staged. Because these guys have to be real fucking athletes to do it. And there's a lot of good, really kind of cool moves they do, and there's just a lot of really bullshit, bogus moves that they do too. I still love wrestling. I just won't watch any of the major wrestling groups now because they went woke, and I'm just not interested in that. But I do love. First of all, my favorite sports are always the pugilistic sports. I boxed, and even though I played other sports, the sport I loved the most that I did, because I did all the other sports for my dad, boxing was really for me. I boxed and I've done martial arts my entire life. I love full contact fighting. And wrestling for me now really is watching the UFC because it's real and they do some crazy shit in the UFC as well as other forms of MMA. I've been watching this one that's like they're surrounded by hay, stacks of hay.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen that before until like this last week. And I'm like, what is this? Instead of the octagon, they're surrounded by hay, and I'm like, okay, this looks like people are going to get broken bones. Gotta watch it, and it's bare-fisted boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really freaking good. Courtney is cool people. She has her own channel. Oh, hold on, let me jump over to our channel. And I will make you a mod and make everybody in the chat mods so you guys can share your links. And I want to make sure that all our friends are able to promote their shows in our channel because we're a family and we all want to support each other. And I try to treat it like a family. So Time Prophet, you are not a mod yet. Let me make you a mod. There you go. Courtney, you are now a mod. Let's see. Okay, PJO needs to be a mod. There we go. Dork Knight already is one. And I think everybody else is a mod. Yeah. If you aren't a mod, let me know. Let's see, where did I leave at? Oh, look at that. It's struggle on my phone too, Courtney. I remember The Undertaker. Yeah. I mean, I go back to my earliest memories and my favorite was Igor. You remember him, Keith.
Yeah.
You didn't sing my song that I posted above. Oh, what was it? Did I miss one? I'm looking.
Did the lovely Sherry post it?
No, Courtney.
Because it looks like the lovely Sherry posted something.
I don't see the song. Oh, Iron Maiden. No, I don't see the song. I missed it. I'm sorry, Courtney. I was so excited for him to sing that song. Oh well. Phone, Windows phone. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. You're still using a Windows phone? I mean, that's like Josh Becker when he was our guest. I made fun of him that he had a 3G phone. And the people that were like, he went into shop for a new phone and they told him, no, we have to take your phone. We can't support your phone. I don't know how it's working. We are ethically bound to take your phone from you.
Why? but my phone.
Let's see. Yeah, and make sure you follow us on Twitter and get in touch with me. We try our best to help people increase their numbers. It's not a fast thing. It can take a while. But just stay steady. We've been at it for 3 years and we're just passing 3,000 because we did grassroots. We weren't even trying to grow. But this year we're changing, and we're focusing more on doing this, as a thing. I'm going to eventually stop drawing as an artist in comic books and doing book covers and movie posters, and I'm just going to eventually just do this. And people go, "Aren't you an artist?" And it's like, no, not really.
Not anymore. Well, we're going to have lots of live nude opinions. So
I would love to do a nude show, not with us, but with people that are attractive. It's the Mod Squad.
Oh,
I was excited that because Robot Head doesn't sub too many people, and Robot Head 200th sub was us on Twitter.
that was amazing.
And we started talking, having a conversation because I've been paying attention for a long time, and I said something that got his attention. And he goes, "Who is this? What's your operating number?" Switching to phone. I'm being summoned to lunch, but I will not leave this live stream. Thank you, Martin. You're such a sweetheart, man. I love you guys. What's a mod? That means you're a moderator. That you can, when the porn bots come in, you can delete them. If somebody says something inappropriate, you'll get a little button that says, "Do you want to post that, or do you want to delete that and block that person?" You have that ability, and you can do that to your own son. It'll be funny. You can censor your own son if he says something naughty. Let's see. I'm already a sub to you. I want to. Yeah. We will be subbing to you too. In fact, because I can't do it from here, I have to go into the actual YouTube chat and find your link. Where you link? Where is it? Where is your link? I'm looking for your link.
So PJO, you are now part of the mod subculture that we've established. So your go-go boots will be arriving soon.
Yeah, we have a close relationship with like Midnight's Edge, and a lot of the other channels too. We admire them, love them, but we've always referred to our channel as the illegitimate son of Midnight's Edge, Nerdrotic, and Doomcock, because those were the three favorite shows that we watched pretty religiously.
Yeah,
and
I still do. I mean,
we both still do.
Yeah,
Doomcock just cracks me up when he gets snarky.
When he really gets going, he's.
And Tom and I joke that we're twins, but I'm the evil one and he's the wicked one, because we have very similar attitudes and humor.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are we now? Let me get caught up. Yeah, I'm trying to find that link that you put in. I see Time Profits. Yeah, I'm already subbed to Mark's channel.
Oh, okay.
Which one is this? Open link in a new tab. Let me see who this is. There it is. It's Courtney. Okay. I'm already subscribed to you. Holy smokes, Courtney. I'm already subbed to you. So, boom, babe. Oh, I lost Keith. There's Keith. Did you have to go do black guy stuff for about 1 minute?
Yeah, about 1 minute.
So, Courtney, I'm already subbed to you, and this is what I got to say about that.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah. Nothing funnier to me than a white guy saying boom goes the dynamite.
And boom goes the dynamite. And boom goes the dynamite.
I could do that all day.
And boom goes the dynamite.
That guy's so nerdy looking. But sometimes I feel like when we're talking, it ends up like this.
Neat. Yeah, it's fun. Fun. Like good times. Good times.
So let me get back to the chat here. What's going on here? It was Monty Python's Sit 'em. Now, that is originally from the contractually obligated album that they put out, Monty Python's contractually obligated album, which had "Sit on my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit in your face and tell me I love you. We'll all be so fine if we just 69." That is also where the band Toad the Wet Sprocket got their name, because it was one of the names mentioned in the ever-changing names of this one rock band. And Toad the Wet Sprocket was one of the names they chose. And so the band, Toad the Wet Sprocket, stole it from Monty Python. And I'm sorry it got quiet, so...
Neat. Yeah, it's fun. Fun. Like, good.
There you go.
And boom goes the dynamite.
And
here is the neighbor who told us where they were.
I want to do a whole episode of just nothing but snippets.
Monty Python snippets at that.
Over and over. Monty Python, anything with John Cleese. I mean, this, come on.
How very interesting. You're a true Bulgarian, aren't you?
You're the Bulgarian, you fuck!
I mean, come on.
What? Apologize. Shit. Are you totally deranged?
I fucking love that guy. A lot of people don't know that his character, Archie Leach, is an homage to another great romantic comedy actor, Cary Grant, because Cary Grant's legal name was Archie Leach, and it was just a nod to Cary Grant. If you want to hear me play guitar, listen to the first 30 seconds of this video. I do play the theme. Are you going to give me permission to play it on the channel? Watch for his chat and see. Let me know if he says yes while I go find this video. Let's see. I am opening it. Open. There we go. All right. Pausing it. We'll be so fine if we just 69. All right, here we go. Yeah, I got that song stuck in my head now. Thanks. Did he say okay to use it, Keith?
Yeah, it looks like he did.
Okay.
You are entering the realm of the Time Prophet, exploring the darker regions of time and the world about us.
It's R2D2. No.
Time Prophet, you are the enemy of the Daleks.
The Daleks? You got to do the inflection. It's got to go up, man. That's good guitar. There we go.
Very well done.
Where did I leave off? Shit, I lost my track. I don't know where I'm at, mate. Let's start here. Oh, you're right, Marcus. Timestamp again. Shut up, Brett. Well, not to be mistaken with the mods from the 60s. In the 70s, the mods hated the rockers. See, you had the same joke. Well, I told you I was in London during the riots when the Teddy Boys and the rockers were fighting. And I had an up-close personal experience with that shit. It was violent. Yep, there we go. There's the Dork. It's Dork Nightly. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to the cool community. Well, that's how we are.
Morning, gents.
Hey.
Greetings.
It's still technically morning where I'm at, I guess.
Yeah, that's why we say it's a Saturday morning show, you know, because it's half the country. It's morning.
Yeah. Oh shit. I'm a little hot right now. A little upset.
What happened?
I gotta turn this shit off. No, I just finished watching. I'm a big wrestling guy, and the Elimination Chamber is the. I'll try it out on DK. Try what out? What'd I miss? What's my mom talking about? Am I in trouble?
Oh, when are you not in trouble?
Oh shit. Anyway.
Well, it looks like you're taking Keith's place because Keith has to go.
Oh.
His brother just got into town and they've got some important stuff to talk over.
Okay.
So Keith, yeah, take off, man.
Okay.
We'll finish up. We don't have that much longer anyway. Say hi to your brother for me. Which brother?
It's my twin brother.
Oh, your twin brother. Okay.
Yeah. Say hi to your brother.
Tell him hi for me. Yeah, don't tell him hi for him. He doesn't know who he is.
No, I was trying to do it's a very bad Mark Wahlberg. Sorry.
Oh,
instead of say hello to your mother. Yeah. I was like, say hi to your brother for me.
Yeah. It's funny, by the way. What was that action movie he did with Peter Berg, where they had to protect a person and take him across town to get him on a plane? Espionage film.
Oh.
And he actually says, say hi to your mother at the end of the film. And did it with a straight face. And I'm like, that can't be an accident.
Was that Sniper?
No. It was the last movie he did with Peter Berg, not the Parade one. It was one he did right after that. It was a spy espionage film. It did really well in the theaters. I enjoyed it. A lot of good action in it. Don't remember the film.
I tell you what, that Chris Hemsworth movie, I think it was on Netflix, was badass.
Oh, where he's the protector of the kid?
Yeah.
We finally got a sequel coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was greenlit. It's finally coming.
So that was him and the fuzzy image at the end.
They could not let him die. He's too good a character.
It's like I just watched John Wick 3 again the other day, and the ending of that where he falls off and hits like Captain America, but he's not a super soldier, and yet somehow he's still alive. You know, like that was just. I love the John Wick movies, but that was almost too over the top for me. Like,
the falling thing, but
yeah,
they were trying to show you that he was hitting things, and a lot of stuntmen use that as a means to slow their descent.
Yeah,
I think the film you're talking about is Mile 22.
Yes,
actually, I haven't seen that one.
That is the film, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Look, I like Peter Berg. I think he's a great actor, but he's an even better director.
He did the Rundown, didn't he?
Yeah,
I love that movie. I love that movie.
He's very okay. I'm not gonna whitewash this. He's fucking patriotic as get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And you just don't see that very often in Hollywood. And Hollywood loves to find moments to shit on them because he also did Battleship. And I enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
Is that the one based off the Hasbro game?
Yes.
Okay.
Even though it shouldn't have been. It should have just been its own thing. But I thoroughly enjoyed that fucking movie. I love they had an actual, I don't like using the word disabled, but they had a veteran who had lost limbs playing a character in the movie doing an action scene.
Well, playing a
fuck yeah.
Playing a
That's
veteran.
dope.
They had a veteran playing a veteran, and he kicks ass in that entire
Yes,
film.
he fucking did.
Like some Inception shit right there.
Oh my God. I fucking love that movie.
Also, they did the movie Spencer Confidential, which I highly recommend. You can find that on Netflix.
Spencer Confidential.
I can hardly wait till they greenlit a sequel.
Yeah.
Because that was so fucking good.
If you've never read the books, People are familiar with the character because of the television series, but the books.
Spencer for Hire.
Yeah.
With what's his name from SWAT? He died. I forget his name. He also played Rocky Blyer in the Rocky Blyer made-for-TV biopic.
I should have never forgotten his name. What is his name?
And it also gave birth to another character, Hawk, who ended up becoming the commander, then captain of Deep Space Nine.
Man, I'm
Robert Urich, because he's from my state. He's from Ohio, like me, or he was from Ohio, like me. Robert Urich played Spencer.
Yep,
and,
good actor.
Avery Brooks was Hawk.
Yeah,
but
that's an interesting cat, dude. Let me tell you, Avery.
And he even got his own show for a short. What did he get? 2 seasons?
Yeah, he got 2 seasons out of A Man Called Hawk.
Yeah.
The thing that I think they really kind of screwed the pooch with that. They should have done a better job because he was such a great character, and they should have had regular crossovers.
No, it was A Man Called Hawk. Yeah, Man Called Hawk. Avery Brooks.
Okay, fucking love that show. I love both.
It actually only got 1 season though.
Only one? God,
yeah,
that
13
pisses me
episodes.
off.
Yeah,
because Avery deserved better than that. I mean,
yeah,
that's almost as bad a shitting on job as they did with the Ropers.
Yeah,
we're going to give you your own show. If it doesn't work in a season, well, you get your old job back. Goes for 2 seasons before tanking. Can we get our jobs back? Sorry, we hired Don Nuts. You're fucked.
But Spencer Confidential is a really well done movie. And if you're not very familiar with what they were attempting to do, which I wasn't, when I clicked on that movie to watch it, I was enjoying it so much I didn't even realize that it was an adaptation of the Spencer character. And you don't get that until the very end of the movie.
Oh, wow. Mark Wahlberg's in that. I've never heard of this movie. Crazy.
Yeah,
you said it's on Netflix?
It was made on for Netflix.
This is another Peter Berg movie.
Now, this is one of the films that was produced by Netflix, as I recall, right? Because they, this is something we talked about earlier when we started talking about what was going on with the changing landscape of how we're going to be seeing cinema. Because we were on net from year 1 of doing our show. And we were saying that Netflix and these other up-and-coming studio/web channels, networks, are going to be where you get a lot of your movies. That we're only going to eventually go to see movies that are worth $15 to go see.
Like Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. Nobody's going to go see a rom-com for $15 fucking dollars anymore.
No.
Or very few. So they'll do what's called the limited release because they have to do it. Keith, tell them why they have to do it.
Well, it's
eligibility.
It really is about keeping, first of all, the streamers or streaming service active. It is very expensive and very tough to keep them going. The other half of that is because everything's becoming more expensive. Marketing films, the marketing budget has shot up so much. You can spend as much marketing a movie, even if it's a cheap movie, as it was to take.
That's what.
Well, that's not what I was getting at.
Right. What he's getting at is you have to have a limited release because that's the only way they're eligible for awards.
Thank you.
That's the other one.
That's the one I was going for because Netflix and Amazon were running into that problem. So they do limited releases. And as long as it shows in, was it 10 theaters? What is that?
At least 10. Yeah.
At least 10 theaters. It's eligible for an Academy Award. And by the way, Courtney, yes, the first time I dealt with the Teddy Boys and the Rockers, I was on the subway, the Underground in London. All right, Keith, I'll see you later, brother.
Yeah, gotta go.
Say hi to your brother.
I will.
Say hi to your
brother for me.
It just sounds so weird when you say it. Now it's in my head. Thanks. But yeah, it basically. I was sitting there with my dad in the Underground and on the tube, and all of a sudden, there's this rustling going outside the door, and I turned to look to see what it was, and it was guys fighting, and a girl trying to separate, and then all of a sudden, they pop in the doors, and the doors close, and this punk rocker with a gigantic fucking mohawk sits down next to me. Fucking face is fucked up. I guarantee he probably lost a tooth. He had so much blood coming out of his mouth and his nose.
Oh wow!
And I just I sat there. I didn't stood there. I sat there staring at him for a second, like I didn't know what was going on. He turns, looks at me, and goes, "Hi, mate." And I'm like, "Hi."
So did I miss the because your topic here says is Daniel Craig?
Yeah, we talked a lot about Bond.
You did already? Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
cool.
we can still go back to it.
No, that's fine.
I mean, we're coming
just,
up on the end of it anyway. But
okay, well then, can I vent about what I was going to vent about? Because I'm still pretty hot about it. I just got to get it out.
Give
of my
me
system.
1 second to get caught up on these chats.
Okay,
and
okay.
Then we'll get right into it, buddy. I tried to get a Hitchhiker's sound for intro. I usually play. Yep. Pat's here. What's up, buddy? We have a meeting in 2 hours, 3 hours, right now to our window. Is this a stream or have you guys been going for 27 hours? Yeah, we never stop. Dork Night went to bed. We watched him sleep. That was the fun part, just watching him sleep. He really does like make cute noises when he's asleep. PJO's his mom, and she was telling us that he makes nice cooing sounds when he sleeps. So, and he only got up once to pee. It's nearly 8 p.m. now over in the UK. Yeah, it's a 6-hour difference.
It's
Courtney says hi, Dork.
Hey, Courtney.
Lovely
Hey.
Sherry says hi, Dork. And by the way, it is now not LV, it is Dork Nightly.
I got to represent the Las Vegas, man.
Well, it looks like an LY when it's like really tiny print, and I saw that and I just had to say it. I'm like, it looks like Dork Nightly. Oh wait, bare knuckle. Yes, I was talking about that earlier. Man, I'm really behind in this chat. Yes, well, stuff's going on, medical stuff, and his brother and he have to talk serious shit, and that's why he had to go. Actually, Time Prophet is the first character I fully 3D rigged for animation. Very cool. He's already gone, Martin. But I will tell him. No, I'm not going to tell him because I'll forget. But there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry, Martin. I'm a disappointment. I'm used to it. I've disappointed everybody. Yeah, it's not identical. It's fraternal because they don't. And Keith's like a lot taller. It's like The Rock and Kevin
Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Except for Kevin Hart's like beefy too, but he's a muscular big guy. But he's shorter than Keith. Just got a grave marker for Cat Bobby delivered. It's lights up at night. It lights up at night.
Oh yeah, Bobby's. It was my mom's cat, and they're out in the country. So she, whereas I I cremated. I think I talked about my cat before that I had for 14 years. I cremated him. I got a beautiful kind of urn for him. She just dug a hole in her property and buried him. So she got a light up grave marker for him.
Yeah, I don't want to. Okay, I'll tell you later what I. It was not really meant to be a prank. It was terrible. It was my daughter's gerbils when they died. The first one was murdered by the other gerbil.
Yeah.
And the other gerbil lived 2 years past what they normally live. And he ended up getting covered in tumors.
Oh,
and
man.
But the first one, when it died, I didn't want her to see what happened. So I flushed it down the toilet. And then I lied to her that I sent it off to be cremated.
Oh.
And my best friend took a bunch of ashes from his cigarette can. And I bought an urn and we put it in there. And she loved that thing for years. But the deal was that because he was the only way I could figure to get the right kind of ashes, granular ashes. And he says, I will give this to you with the deal that I get to tell her that she's been weeping over that urn. And it's nothing but cigarette ashes.
Something weird is happening on my computer. Hold up.
Okay. I have trouble with John Wick is that there's so much action, there's little room for story. No, it's not. It is linear action. It's linear visual storytelling. It is not structured storytelling. It is linear visual storytelling. It's almost like a silent movie, really. The Rundown. I love The Rundown. Bad Monkey. Fucking great line. I think you underestimate the chick flicks market. No, I do not, Brett. I do not. I know how well those movies can do. Hallmark makes
you guys
a
didn't hear
living.
any. Sorry, you guys didn't hear any of that, did you?
No.
Okay,
No.
cool. Sorry, my computer started playing something in the background. It was weird. Sorry. I'm back.
No, it's just in your head. Not my. God, I gotta get caught up on these. Cool. I just got to drag my image. Angular. Okay, you're talking shit. I don't know. Okay. Hellos. Okay, here we go. That's funny because people have done that to me. Dork.
See, now you've got her tagging me wrong.
I win. Yay. Gary wins. What do you win today, Gary? The internet. And you know, it's really weird because like some of the guys, like Pat's talked to me about it as one of our producers, that you know, me doing shows by myself, and I'm like, I really don't like doing it because my humor comes from my reactions to things people say. But I think I could pull it off with the chat because I can make fun of things that or twist things that are said in the chat because that's where most of my humor comes from. And it's good to see you, Pat. Let's see. Danzig is here. Danzig's
Hey,
another.
Danzig.
Danzig's a new watcher of our stream, and I get excited when we get new people. I'm like, oh my god, the family's growing. Oh, thank the gods. Oh, thank the gods. I thought you guys ran out of dead pet stories yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
I gotta. Oh no, I'll save it for another time for you, Pat. I had to put my cat down when it had cancer. Well, it had feline leukemia.
Yeah.
And it had lost so much of its musculature that there's a bone on the back of the neck where the neck muscles insert. It looked like a shark fin on the back of his head. And the name of the cat was Mundi, which is Latin for world. And I loved that cat. He was my best buddy. And he acted like a dog. And when he died, man, it just fucking tore me apart. But when my roommates found out that I had put it down myself, because I grew up in that era where you put your own pets down. You don't take them to a vet and let them put it to sleep. And they're like, you did what? And they freaked the fuck out. They thought they were living with a psychopath that was like going to kill them in their sleep. That was some funny shit. Let's see. What does dork mean in America? Well, dork means it's another version of nerd or geek.
It's not a whale's penis, which I think is what he was
But that's
getting
what
at.
a lot of people attribute it to as a whale's penis. We just don't. We don't use it that often. That's why it's kind of cool that you took on that name, because I don't know anybody that uses dork. I really don't. I do say every once in a while, I'll say to somebody, "You fucking dork."
No, I've used Dork forever. That's what, my phone number is literally 900 Dork. The name of my company is Dork Knight Designs. It's just
that's great.
Yeah. It's just, and what do you mean, Mom? You're gonna have to explain that to me. What tagline? Are you calling me fat? So like, you have to explain that one.
Your mom is your biggest bully. That's some funny shit, man. I like your mom. She's awesome.
No, she is, man.
We got to get her on here sometime. I want to hear how
I need to order her a camera and send it like a webcam.
Yeah, you were saying it last night. I think it'd be great. But dork, because like Matt McGuire from the band Guar, he's their main artist, and he's also one of the. I always forget his name. He's done videos. He's been on our show, and he's done. I gotta put that on. He did a promotion for Pop Culture Minefield in costume from Guar, and doing the voice and everything. It's fucking great. And I've never met a wrestling fan that doesn't like Guar.
Well, it's very theatrical, like
because they're very much like the wrestling. Remember the wrestling figures?
Yeah.
They really reminded me of it. And but anyway,
remember him? Do I got to pull him back out? Didn't you guys pick on me for that last night?
You got those little rubber figures? No, the little rubber figures.
Yeah,
the
little ones. Yeah,
they came out in the 80s, and that's how I got introduced to Gwar, was because Matt McGuire, who was with Gwar, told me back in the 80s, I'm going to work for them one day, because he had them out and he was playing with them. He says, these are my little, and he would add stuff to them and carve them to make them look like Gwar characters. It was fucking great. He said, I'm going to work for Gwar one day, and he fucking did, dude. He became a slave, as they call it, slave for Gwar. And I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about, but I love Matt McGuire. Anyway, fuck it. ADD. Welcome to ADD Theater.
Right.
Okay. God, you guys are commenting too fast. And I feel like I'm never going to get caught up. The Time Prophet. Sorry, I forgot to tag. Hey, DK. Hope the neck is better. Yes, I was talking about your neck last night to my wife.
Yeah, it's just it's been a day. It's still really sore, but I've had this procedure done before 6 months ago or 7 months ago, and it usually takes about 4 or 5 days, and then I'm completely pain free for about 6 months. But I've done it so many times, like I'll probably have to get the full blown surgery in about 6 months. We'll see. Not looking forward to that. They're either going to have to fuse two of the.
They're going to.
I don't want to fuse them though, because I don't want the Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm facing is I'll eventually be turning like Michael Keaton Batman. Exactly.
Yeah,
and so I was kind of hoping that when we get to that point where I've lost the weight and got my blood sugar down to normal, that they're going to talk to me about putting in the titanium.
That's what I want to do. It's just like an insurance thing at this. So that's why I keep kicking.
What they do is they stretch your neck while you're unconscious,
Mm-hmm.
and they take the bone out, and then they go around the cord with the new vertebra.
Right, and then they put whatever the gel,
it's the silicone, like
in between.
It goes between. So it's my best friend producer on this show, Jim Woodward, had it done, and so I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that that's probably what they're going to do. But fusion is the other option. But no, I did not, motherfucker. Time Prophet. That was what that fuck you was for. I lived over there long enough to pick up on weird things with the English. And that's why I'm able to translate my buddy from East End, because I understand him when he's talking. And he's straight up Cockney, and he'll say things and like the waitress will be like, what did he say? He'd like a beer. All that was, it was about a beer. Yes, there was a lot in there, but he just wants a beer. But
some of these
my big
comments,
thing is
you gotta
Irish.
get caught up. Some of these comments are hilarious.
Martin is back. Weird Science. I use Dork all the time. I used to use it all the time, and I still use it occasionally. But that was why I brought up Matt McGuire. Matt McGuire brought up Goober, and that's what he called me all the time. Goob. He called me a goob. He goes, "Oh, shut up, yo, goob." And I liked it. I'm like, "Oh, that's a good replacement for Dork."
Yeah.
And Dork just means you're silly, dorkish, being silly, not obtuse, but silly. Gwar, okay, I am in the right place. Look, man, they did. Well, was it a Fleetwood Mac cover? No, it was Dust in the Wind. I think they did a cover of
Kansas.
Yeah, by Kansas. And oh my God, it was a great fucking cover. Gwar's the shit, man. It's like punk and metal all rolled into one. Hi, Tina.
Oh, hold up.
Gwar.
No, it's Carry On My Wayward Son.
Is that it? Carry On My Wayward?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that song is so fucked up the way they perform it, but God damn it, it's so good. Because I hung out with punkers, almost everybody I hung out. And my first band was a punk band called the Smelly Pubes, and it was with Jim Woodward. And I wrote a song called and it's a true story too, because it really happened. There's a dead mouse in my room. There's a dead mouse in my room. There's a dead mouse in my room, and it smells like shit. And it just, that's it. That's the only words in the song. Because I came home from Christmas break and a mouse died in my dorm room when I was in fake college. And yes, I wasn't in college. I lived in the dormitory. Don't even bother asking me. I'll tell you another time how I got to be in a dormitory when I wasn't really a student. And I'm in the 1983 yearbook, William and Mary. And I wasn't a student.
Damn.
I came, the guy invited me to live with him. And because his roommate never showed up. So I lived in the dorm. JBT.
I had to go to 4 different high schools because we moved a lot. And before you ask, I was in a military brat. And sorry, Mom, don't want to throw you under the bus. I'm just pretty sure my parents were criminals. I was like, there's no other reason for us to move so damn much. But I didn't make it into my my senior year yearbook because they take the senior photos like the summer before, and I literally went to 4 different high schools. So I think that's hilarious.
Just read that. Just read that.
Kind of old man. Yeah. And we're talking about replacing body parts and shit like that. So, touche. I'll take it.
Touche. I know you now. Hi, Flaccid Phoenix. I love Flaccid Phoenix. We don't agree on some things, but God damn it, he's fun. I haven't met his partner yet. Oh, fuck you, Zach.
That's a good
I
one.
don't do Cockney. I understand.
No, the
it.
Cockney does you.
I can't do a Cockney East Ender accent. I can do a London proper. I can do North, Liverpool. I can't do Scottish worth of shit. Can't do Welsh. But I do 3 different dialects from Ireland because I was around them all the time. And even so much so that even my Irish from Dublin, Ireland godfather said, you know, that's pretty good. Because I do a good impression of him when he's talking. Hello, Gary. Anyway, it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. I love that name. Because it sounds like you're saying something. Oh, it's somebody's name. The advantage of not having English as my mother tongue is that I have no problems understanding any kind of English accents. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, I'm sorry, when I say that's interesting, I just think of this one.
Neat. Yeah, it's fun. Fun. Like good times. Good times.
Should do a whole episode where we just talk like the NPR.
We do our NPR.
Yeah.
Here in NPR, we would like to talk to you about labia majora and labia minora. No, that's not a Jewish vagina when I say labia minora. I remember in nursing school when I my first year of nursing, and like, oh my God, I found out that that's a thing. It's real. It's labia majora, labia minora. And I said, what is it, Jewish? And can you believe I got voted president of my class? For some reason, they liked me because of the stupid shit that I would say during class. Oh, wait, I want to go back to this. I was a punk rocker. I played bass in 2005 with an old school punk band called Fang from the early 80s. They're still around. Yeah, Fang's not as punk as Smelly Pubes. And what's funny is our band was actually kind of poking fun at punk at itself, because we love punk, but we were kind of poking fun at punk, and people still fucking liked it. We would like write stupid fucking songs. Commies on Welfare was another song I wrote. Commies on welfare.
Well, I mean,
commies on welfare.
Isn't that kind of redundant?
Well, when they come to America, we thought it was funny that the first thing they did was get on welfare, because I knew 2 Russian friends and we didn't get along. I went to punch one in the face because he called a girlfriend of mine, not girlfriend, but girlfriend,
a female friend, yes,
a female friend. He says, you'd be good lead singer for band if you weren't so fat. Actual quote. I threw a drumstick at him first. It stuck in the wall next to him. Now, the funny part was he was a guitarist. He had the mindset with me coming at him like the Incredible Hulk behind I'm throwing my drum set out of the way to go after this guy. And you know what? I shouldn't say his name, but fuck it. Sergei Dubovic.
Sergei Dubovic.
And
from Russia.
And he had the mindset to unstrap his guitar and put it in the stand before running. And then that guy ran. I'm fast, you know. I remember my stepdaughter was freaked out at how fast I am, even fast.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, what circa, like what time period are we talking here? Because I've seen a lot of different.
This was back
pictures.
in the 90s, and I was Army. I had just gotten out of the Army, so I was like really athletic,
good shape.
And I could run, and that dude fucking bolted and just disappeared on me, like just left me in the dust. And I think one of the things I said, get somebody to pick up your guitar. Don't you fucking come back. And I wanted to kill that guy because she cried. I don't want to say her name because it really broke her heart when he said that to her. I fucking hate mean people, dude. But Fang is actually a really good punk name. And that band's name, and we were kind of edgy rock, a little punk, a little new wave. And that band's name was Sobek, named after the giant alligator down in Florida. Names are everything. I also had a band called Bob's Immaculate Bathroom.
See, yours are way cooler. I was only ever in one band. I went to a Christian college. In fact, one of the alumni is in our chat, the Tina W. And I was in a Christian cover band called Varnish. And
that's not a bad name.
Yeah, it was because the guitar player was my buddy Danny Varner. And so, I made like a logo because, I've always drawn and stuff. And we covered like, it was kind of Christian, but like more like you didn't know that, like, we did like Creed and POD and, stuff like that, versus...
Payment upon death. Or payment on death. POD.
Yeah.
Isn't that what that stood for?
Yeah.
By the way,
payable on death.
Polly did start it, but no, not because I played in a band called the Smelly Pubes. I can't even remember what it was like some joke, and it just all of a sudden exploded with the chat, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble now. But yeah, I was in one band called The Symptoms, and I gave us the name as a joke because we played 4 covers of Cure songs. And I said to Keller Williams and Danny Martellino, our bassist, I said, hey man, we're doing so many Cure covers. Why don't we just call ourselves The Symptoms? I was being an asshole. And they're like, I love it. And I went, no, it's a joke. And they went, no. And that was our name. Sometimes
you got to be careful what you say, man.
Yeah, I'm a smartass, and sometimes it comes back to whip me in the face. Yeah. Get off my lawn. That's been our things from the beginning of the show. Keith and I would yell that. Get off our lawns. Little here, you spoiled brat. In my days, the live streams were... Well, look, I'm going to tell you something. I joked in high school that one day I was going to be an old guy, and I go, you don't know music? AC/DC, now that's a band. And I've said it. I've actually said it. I made the joke back in the 80s, and I've actually said it as an adult. That's not rock. Rock is AC/DC. Def Leppard. Fuck you. You don't know what you're doing. Listen, I mean, we used to, when I was a punk, we used to do a thing called slam dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And they call it moshing now.
Yeah, it's like that's exactly what I was about to say. It's basically
the same thing, but slam dance, it was brutal, dude. People,
my favorite band. Yeah, no, my favorite band of all time is Deftones, and I've been to probably. I
love the Deftones. You're talking about the Mighty Mighty Deftones, right?
No, that's Boss Tones. I'm talking about Deftones. Yeah, like Deftones.
Hold on a second. I think I know who you're talking about.
They do "Change in the House of Flies" is probably most famous song that you would know.
Yes, I know them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're pretty heavy, especially like when they were younger, like when Adrenaline and even before Adrenaline, like they just got heavy songs. And every time, and I've been to probably at least 24 concerts over 20 some odd. They broke out like in 97, 98 is when they started, something like that. Well, I mean, when they hit mainstream, they say they were established like in the 80s, but they did a demo called Like Linus and didn't get picked up until much later by Madonna's label, Maverick Records, which then got bought out by something else. Anyway, I'm always really long-winded. It's the weed. I'm sorry. But yeah, I used to do that all the time. And like now I'm too old. Now I'm like, I won't do that shit. But when probably like 10, 15 years ago, for sure, 15 years ago, when I would go, I'd be in the mosh pit and like, yeah, everybody's just like jumping up, smashing into each other's bodies. Everybody's drenched in everybody else's sweat. It's like a communal experience. It was a lot of fun.
I'm trying to find, because there is actually an edgy song that I wrote that came out of my second album with Cohen's Ghost, and I'm just having brain farts and I can't really remember it.
Well, I can vent now while you look that up, because
do that.
It's eating away at my soul. Yeah. So the reason I was so late was because I was watching the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Well, now they're called Premium Live Events, which is a WWE wrestling thing, because they don't do pay-per-view anymore. It's all streaming, and it took place in Saudi Arabia, which is why it was on so early. So it started at 9, and it was mostly good, but the end pissed me off because it's all scripted anyway. Like somebody it was an Elimination Chamber is basically like a giant cage, and it's got 4 pods in it, and but 6 fighters. So two people start the match in the ring, and then the other 4 people are locked in these pods, and every 5 minutes a pod will open and a dude will come out. Well, they did this stupid gimmick where a guy got thrown through one of the pods and unintentionally gave the dude who was in the pod a concussion, and that dude happened to be the champion. And so they took him to the back and said, "Oh, he can't come back and wrestle because of concussion protocol. So we're stripping him of the title. Whoever wins now is going to be the new champ." And I was like, that's so shitty. That would if this were a legitimate sport, that would not be how that goes down. I don't think. And I was mad. I was very mad. And then the guy everybody thought was going to win, Brock Lesnar, won. Killed everybody in 2 minutes. It was boring. It was very anticlimactic. And I don't know. I think I hate.
It's kind of weird to hear that, because those things are usually planned out a little bit to go better.
Yeah, I hate watch WWE. I'm more of an AEW fan.
Well, I can't watch it anymore because it's so much of it has gotten woke, and I just the WWE is woke as fuck.
Oh, dude, and especially being in Saudi Arabia, the women that wrestled, they literally their entire bodies from their neck to their hands are covered, so all you could see is their hands and their face, because they're in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and apparently women aren't allowed to show any body skin or whatever. It's crazy.
There you have it. Let me get caught up on the chat. That's ridiculous. A cough is your body's way to stop smoking. The time. She's a mom.
Hey, well, you'll come to my reply soon. So.
Hi, Keely. Nonsense. Don't get off till you cough, Mom. What's going on? We're just sort of hanging out now. We've Keith had to leave, go deal with family shit, and
I hate that I missed the Daniel Craig stuff, because
we did talk about it. All it is this: the first 2 films with Craig are one film, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then after that, they derailed a bit because they had created this version of Spectre, but had to call it a different name. And I really feel they didn't plan this shit out at all, because it was so goofy. When they did Skyfall, you create this amazing villain and you have him do things that make no fucking sense to build to a climactic battle that really is not something that smart would have done. Attack them in a fucking courthouse. That was all the buildup for this. This was your plan. You knew that a tube, underground train was going to fucking come there at that point and do what you could do, and yet that was your fucking plan. I hated it, and all to get back at him to go to Skyfall. I was so vexed by the stupidity of the plot.
The original idea. Yeah, the original idea would have been awesome. Did you hear about how what's that old guy's name at the end? It's some weird. It's Alfred something. I can't remember his real name. Anyway,
are you talking about Ralph Fiennes?
No. The old man at Skyfall. So the original idea.
Oh, yeah, that's
Alfred
Albert Finney.
Albert Finney. Thank you.
Yeah.
Originally, they wanted I read an article somewhere originally they wanted that to be Sean Connery's character because they wanted the Skyfall place to be where like all the retired, because James Bond, 007 James Bond, apparently there's more than one of them. It's not like his real name.
That got started with the 1967 version of Casino Royale.
Right, and we talked about that last night. I actually still have it, the video of it pulled up on my tab over here. I just started watching it. I didn't finish his life, but I'll get to it. But they actually they pitched it. They wanted, because this was before he died, they wanted Sean Connery, and he wouldn't do it. So they changed it to that dude's character, which, I mean, if the article I read was true, which that would have been awesome. That would have been really awesome. Especially at that point.
Well, I think they're afraid to go that far
Yeah.
because that's always been, because there was a comic series in the 80s, I recall, that did that with James Bond. That each James Bond was a code name and they're a different person. And, but, you know, if they were going to go that direction, they kind of betrayed themselves in how they did it by his name being James Bond before he became a spy.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the first two films were spot on, really good. It was good Bond, straight up Bond.
Yeah.
And then they do Skyfall, and it's the plot that betrays them, the logic of the plot. It makes no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just dumb. I'm going to just be blunt. But I still enjoy the Bond stuff. You know, waste of a good, what was it? Whiskey? I can't remember what it was. He just, you know, what do you have to say about that when he shoots her and the glass falls and perfect waste of whiskey or whatever he said.
It's a waste of some perfectly good whiskey.
Yeah, and then he kills all the guys and then takes him. There were some great moments in it. And even in this last movie, I hated it. And overall, I just hated it.
I did not like this last movie at all.
Enjoy the Bond action. It's great. He's good at the action.
Yeah, he really is. Like the visceral, like raw, kind of animalistic style of his action is cool. I like it. And it's totally different from any other portrayal of Bond. But I am glad that they kind of wrap this up so it's like its own pocket universe, like we talked about last night.
Yeah,
So
it's its own fucking thing. Bond will return at the end. But you just killed him. Oh, it's because this is its own little thing. Okay. Yeah. But I hope they get back to the process because that's what built the fandom.
Yeah.
You know,
I have this terrible feeling, we talked about it in the Salty Nerd Discord quite a bit, that, you know, they're going to come up, like the next one's going to be Jane Bond. You know, they're going to like get woke and bring
she promised, Barbara Broccoli said in an interview, Bond will always be a man. She didn't say 007.
Right.
She said Bond. And unlike some fans, I differentiate the 007 with Bond because I know that there are only 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you retire or are killed, somebody's going to get that fucking number again. So I've always understood that. Always understood.
Well, and they even make that canon in the last movie because the black chick was 007.
She was the new 007.
Yeah. And
I'm like, you know, I don't care. I won't watch her fucking movie because that's not the character I'm interested in. I'm interested in James Bond as a character. You know, and when I wrote St. Thomas, which I'm still working on, I've talked about it on previous episodes with Andrew P. Anderson, who was our guest last week. He liked it because he says, yeah, it's really very much an American James Bond. Because I know that what he wanted Bourne to be in his first Bourne Identity movie was he wanted to create a new James Bond. But the problem was they made him an anti-James Bond.
Yeah.
In Greengrass's films, he's an anti-James Bond. Yeah. So I'm like, then you failed to make the series you wanted. Instead, you got Greengrass's and what's his name? The actor that plays him.
Matt Damon.
Fucking Matt Damon. You got Matt Damon and Greengrass's version.
Yeah.
Of Bond.
Yeah.
Which
I remember we were talking about
a guy who's anti-country, anti-CIA.
Yeah, I pulled that article up last night where
and I brought that up earlier too.
Yeah,
because it really is when they did the new James Bond film, Casino Royale,
Mhm.
it was inspired by two things. And the main one was the Bourne Identity.
Yeah. Yeah,
And the Bourne Identity is the best of that franchise. It shouldn't even be a franchise. I really think they did a terrible job with that. I only like Bourne Identity. The action scenes from that, the rest of the films were done like they did Taken 2, where they do like 3 cuts for every move.
Yeah.
Um,
I like
no-
I like I like the high paced kinetic action without so many cuts. You know what I mean? Because like when you just chop it up, it's like it's harder for me to suspend disbelief because I'm not seeing him do it, and I kind of like I know like that they're faking this because this actor can't really do this stuff, type of thing.
Well, exactly.
That's what I loved about Daniel
Your
Craig
mom,
stuff.
your mom asks, "Are you done with Daniel Craig?" Oh, I've been looking forward to his leaving for a while because he proved to be another one of those fucking typical Hollywood woke assholes. His ideas, geez, I lost a lot of respect for him as a person. So yeah, I'm done with Craig. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone. What is it? Piss on his ashes. Keely Chow. I like. Yeah, she's got a cool name. Everybody's got cool names here. I think we're all done with Daniel Craig.
I think we're all done with Daniel Craig.
Yeah. So got to hit the road. We'll be listening in. All right, deleted. Take care.
Well, we're probably gonna wrap up here soon.
I just want to get through the chat and then we can finish it. It's Courtney Fellowship. God, it's like a sentence. I'm telling you, it throws me every time. Lots of stuff doesn't fly anymore. Yeah. Well, woke people are ruining everything for the rest of us. This one small group of people is fucking with our shit.
I know, right? It's terrible because it is such a
I'm
small...
using wide world.
Yeah,
one small group.
It is a small percentage of people for sure.
1%.
Yeah,
I'm serious. It's like 1%, and they're the loudest, most annoying fuckers on the planet.
Yeah, well, squeaky wheel gets the grease, but that's why I actually found Peacemaker refreshing. It is like they say and do so much stuff in that show that like cancel culture would usually pounce on, and for some reason it's getting a pass, and I'm loving it. So did you see the finale? Did we talk about that yesterday? I'm sorry if we did. It was anesthetized. Peacemaker?
Yeah, I did. I watched it and I enjoyed it. I was annoyed, but I still enjoyed it because, and I get Matt because Matt and I talked about it. Matt Vader. Matt just enjoyed it. Me, on the other hand, I see the duality of what's going on here. Is that's Warner Brothers shitting on Zack Snyder's Justice League.
You think so with the cameos at the end?
Oh, I know it is. I absolutely know it is. And, they're getting fired, and that's why Hamada was greenlighting everything because he was really hoping to get an Amy Pascal deal where no matter what happens, if they make a sequel, my name is on it and I get pulled in and I get a percentage. And that's what she did with all the Spider-Man stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he was trying to do that with Batman, but now the Batman is it's a potential tanking situation.
Yeah.
And because they were tracking initially 150 or more million.
Now it's like
now
maybe
it's
80.
It was 85 last I checked, and then somebody last night, maybe you, said it was 80 million.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's going to keep. We won't really know until that day that it opens. The weekend it opens, then we'll find out, and that's only a couple weeks from now. And we'll find out. But the fact is I don't think things look good. I think that the three audience viewings that they've had to test the film did not go well. I mean, the first time they did it, that's when you started noticing them focusing on Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they've lost faith in Pattinson. But then they're starting to focus on Pattinson again. So God only knows what happened in that next viewing. It's okay to be old. I'm 44. I might be 45 and just forgot. Yeah, I always do this thing where I stop and think. I've even had to take the current year and subtract my birth year from it to figure out my fucking age. Because I forget how old I am sometimes. It's funny. Because I don't celebrate birthdays anymore. I don't give two shits about my birthdays.
I've always been the opposite. I don't really celebrate Christmas or a lot of those holidays. I don't do Easter or anything like that. So my birthday is always like my day. So I always in fact, this year was the first year I hadn't. I'll never forget my 34th birthday. It was the most epic night of my life. Huge party.
My 30th was my last real celebration.
Yeah. And I think my last banger was 40. Yeah, I think it was at the Nerd, and just had a shit ton of people there. It was an epic night, but I haven't done that since then. So but I've always loved birthdays. That's weird that what's your big holiday? You decorate? You big Christmas Halloween guy? Or
birthdays don't mean anything to me, and they stopped really meaning anything to me once I stopped getting cards with money in it. It's it's just a thing that happens once a year. I am big on Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
I love Thanksgiving. That's probably
I like food holidays. Easter is also awesome. I also loved Easter because as a Catholic, it was when Lent was over and I could go back to doing whatever it was I gave up during Lent.
Yeah, but I mean, my mom is still in there. Never mind. Daniel pouts if I don't send him a birthday check. LOL. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, yes, that's good, Courtney. I will check it in fact, I'll just throw it open here and to see what you had to say. Why are you sending me pictures like that?
What?
I'm not complaining, but those are awesome. I'm kidding. She didn't.
It's you gonna share? Just kidding.
She sent me a picture of a shirt though.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Look at that. Awesome. Here, I'm going to open this up over here. I won't show you her private chat, but I'll show you the image. Here we go. Share screen. I want to share my screen now, honey. There you go. And I'll enlarge it.
Official.
Oh, it won't let me enlarge. Hold on. Open image, a new tab. There, it'll let me do it.
That's fun.
That's cool, isn't it? Let's see. Glad the Craig Bond movies are done. Amen, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Skyfall was dumb plot-wise. Look, my thing is storytelling. And I tell people all the time, JJ is obsessed with plots and plot twists. They are not essential in good storytelling at all. You can tell a story with no plot whatsoever. There are great films that have no plots. They're just good stories. And I get tired of people who use it like a crutch. JJ Abrams in particular. He uses them it's almost as bad. His plot twists are as bad as his lens flares. What was it? Into Darkness, Star Trek Into Darkness had so many fucking plot twists. I was getting annoyed with it. If you are using a MySQL database,
once an ID has been deleted, it is never reassigned. I see double. So he's saying he doesn't think there's more than one. It's like when 007's gone, it's never reassigned. Just like you'd run out of
agents. I don't agree with that at all. I know.
I don't agree with it either, but I do get the analogy because I'm a WordPress developer and I frequently have to deal with MySQL databases.
Yes, it was, Tina. It was a very good film.
Yeah, I love Casino Royale.
And who was not fucking grabbing the arms of your seat? Right. When he's fucking dying and he's going out to that fucking car and that thing doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like,
oh my fucking God. That was amazing.
Yeah.
But Matt Damon. He said he wanted to voice that himself for World Police. I don't believe him. He said he'd offer to do it. I don't believe it. Idris Elba would be a good Bond. I agree, but he's too old. And I don't mean that like old people shouldn't play Bond. I'm saying that when they hire an actor to play Bond, they're looking at 5 to 10 films over a period of time.
Yeah.
So you want to get them in their 30s so they're the right age when they leave.
Yeah.
you know.
Or I
and
mean, what's his name? Dalton only did 2.
well,
you know?
Dalton only did 2 because he was having a lot of conflict
Right.
with the group, Barbara Broccoli and Eon, over their treatment of Bond. And basically, because Keith and I talk about it, that he wanted to do a more book version of Bond.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, I remember because we did talk about that last night. It's just I feel like there doesn't, in today's day and age, especially with what they just did with Daniel Craig and how, like, you kill James Bond, but then the end credit says like James Bond will return. Like
Right.
do 1 or 2 movies with like an Idris Elba. I think that I would still love to see it. But I get
he
what
would
you're
make
saying.
a perfect Bond. I love
Yeah.
him. And I'm not a big fan of race or gender swapping, but I really, it's the actor.
Yeah, he's
if
just
they
a
are right for
badass.
the part. They're
Yeah.
fucking right for the part.
Yeah,
And
he's got the
Idris Elba is right for the part.
Yeah, he's like, he just seems like that kind. He's got that swagger. He's already British. You know what I mean?
See a prophet. Nido. Etsy, lovely Sherry. Let's get caught up so we can get the fuck out of here because my daughter wants to talk to me. She's trying to call me.
Oh, okay.
At the time, I was rooting for Colin Salmon for Bond. Colin Salmon. I don't know who that is. I really don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
No, I'm looking it up.
He's woke and then he's anti-woke because the show actually makes fun of woke. And I find that funny. They have woke in it. But my only problem with Peacemaker is I just forgot her name. I'm having brain farts all over the place. The head of the group.
Hardcourt? Or no, Amanda Waller?
Yeah, Amanda Waller is she's nobody's mother.
Oh no, yeah, we talked about that. I totally agree with that.
It's like it was Keith and I are like, that's the dumbest fucking thing. She should be a niece, not
Yeah,
a
or
fucking
something.
daughter.
Yeah.
And that girl is not Amanda Waller's daughter.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Time Prophet, take it easy, buddy. Let's see. Read them before I sent them to my nephew, but Young Bond. Oh yeah, I remember those. I never read them. Had a smoother Bond feel than the last few movies. Quick flick reads. Yeah. Time Prophet. It's basically the problem is you can't tell a Bond story and allow it to be woke. You can't. He is an anti-woke character.
Yeah.
He does not. I mean, she said it best in the first film, but it was a dumb line because he's just starting and she calls him a brutish thug, a blunt instrument, quote, end quote. And it's like, he just started. That line would work with a Bond who's been doing it for 20 years, but for a guy who just got his kills.
Judi Dench.
Judi Dench's character annoyed me. I hated her being in it because once you realize that this is not part of the other franchise, having her in it was fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it always annoyed me. Keith and I have talked about that earlier too. It's like on this episode, we talked about how weird that was that they did that. We know why they did it. It was to confuse people. They pulled, and that's how Ghostbusters 2016 got pulled in. Oh, it's connected to the old shows. Then you watch it and go, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And that's what they tried to do with Dench. She was the way of bridging the two, but
you didn't have to.
It didn't bridge. It didn't work. It doesn't. It's a different character. She's an alternate universe M.
Yeah, it's kind of like the two J. Jonah Jamesons. If you think about it, you got the bald one who does the internet show, and then you got the one with hair that has the newspaper, the Daily Bugle.
Your mom's
in
knocking
the
on you.
universe. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I mentioned it earlier. Thanks for putting that on blast. I appreciate it. You know what she's done my whole life, and the older I get is why I get more excited. She's always done it. She sends me a check equal to the amount of my age is what she does. So it's not a lot of money. It's not I care about the money. It's just like, you've done it my whole life. We might as well keep this going because
Exactly. And by the way, Courtney, thanks. Dork and I have a really good rapport. That's why I like bringing him on to TGIF. But I got to tell you, when he's on anesthesia, Man, he can bum you the fuck out, man.
I'm sorry. I really did bring the room down last night.
Twice.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's great, man. I'm just busting your job because it's fun.
All good.
We had a great. Let's see. Yeah, you're just saying name again, and I'm not going to fucking read it anymore. Courtney, shorten your goddamn name. Great show. Thanks, Zax. Look, every show's getting better and better. After 3 years, I've gotten comfortable in my skin. Because I didn't want to do this at first at all, man. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to be behind the camera and let Keith do it, but Keith won't do it by himself. So I had to come on the show to do it. And oh my God. And I think I was grateful because we were in the same room doing the show on one camera. And that was fun. And because that's why you guys, like there in Las Vegas, when you do Salty Nerd, you're all right there.
Yeah,
there's something fun about doing that. But I moved to another city, and it's kind of hard to do that. But so we had to like prepare because I was scared. Like, how are we going to do this? And that's when I learned about StreamYard and what it could do. Oh, hello. Who was that?
He saw you. Say hi. It's my fiance.
Hello, fiance. I'll say it here in the South. We call you a fiancé.
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 No, it's not fiance. It's finance.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, look.
I'm a starving artist.
Tell her my wife is the breadwinner.
He said his wife's the breadwinner too, baby. So he gets it. We're good.
Just call me Court or Paul. No, it's when somebody puts your whole name in the thing to tag you. It's just like I start thinking I'm reading a sentence. It's like, oh goddamn, it's your name again. It's like I'm getting suckered. It's what do they call it? The video where you think it's one thing. It's
Rickrolled.
Rickrolled. I feel like I'm getting Rickrolled. I'm Courtney rolled.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not reading this. This is your fucking name.
Mom said hi, Cease.
But Courtney, are you leaving? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see. Bye. Okay, hon. It was real nice. Thanks for coming and joining us. It was great. Thank you. Oh, Monkey Jeebus is here. What's up, buddy? Let's see. Here we call you the road to bankruptcy. Okay, now I see more by Mark. Yep. So my career has great moments where money's good. And then it'll have like these dead spells. That's the thing about freelancing. And once
feast or famine.
I hate saying the name of the president because I don't want to show excessive politics on here. But there was a certain president that took office, in about 2009. And we in 2008, our economy took a dump. And during that entire next administration, they did nothing to better it. And the first people to go are creatives, always, because you can outsource it if necessary. Yeah. And so I became a freelancer because I lost my job. In fact, the company I worked for went under because of the economy. And that next administration did nothing to fix anything. The economy just stayed bad the whole time. And I didn't see work again until 2016. What are the odds that you would start seeing growth in 2016? And now we're at an even line again. I'm still getting steady work. I'm grateful to that.
I mean, I tell you, last year, because I just did my taxes or whatever, it was the worst year of my life.
He is on the show every week.
I am pretty much since you guys brought me on.
Yeah, he's on every week now, Zach.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you work with me. You don't fucking know that? You're our director.
We lost everything in 2008. Yeah. Yeah.
It broke my heart because I'm raising my daughter by myself, dude.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. What am I going to fucking do? I went on unemployment and I said, well, maybe I'll go back to school and, do something else. And that got shot to shit. I was making good grades, but I was terrified.
2008. It was more like really 2009 that was bad for me because I was one of the millions of people who lost their house. I had to do a short sale, but mine was more like in the beginning of 2009
where you lose money.
Yeah, because like so I was supposed to refinance like yeah, it's too long and boring a story. Never mind. It was a rough year, but I tell you what, last year was the worst year of my life, even compared to that.
Wow.
With as far as like my business, you know what I mean? Because I've worked for myself since '98, so very long time, and it does have its peaks and valleys. And I always make the joke it's feast or famine, but it's never really been famine until last year. So and I'm not hopeful, and I don't want to get political either. But I'm glad you're still getting steady work. But I feel like something's got to change.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, all right, okay. So he was saying that was a setup, and it's like, well, he's already part of it. He's part of our family, and I really do. And I said this earlier before he came on. I'm trying to get everybody to treat what we do as a family. We may all agree, but come on, we are the illegitimate sons of Gary at Nerdrotic, Doomcock, and Midnight's Edge. Pop Culture Minefield came directly from those 3 shows.
Yeah.
We were watching those shows, and we were like, I'd like to do a variation of that. Not what they're doing, but something close to it. Because Midnight's Edge really does do some of the stuff that I like to go into, but I also like improv.
Yeah.
And I like to free verse it and fuck it, just go.
What'd you call it? The ADD theater of the ADD or something like that earlier? That was,
welcome to ADD Theater.
Yeah. That should be a tagline. Saturday morning fun time.
Especially when Steven gets on, because nobody derails me like Steven. Steven, first time I met him, he freaked me out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? Because you can see my eyes darting around like, what the fuck is going on?
He's so cool. So I can't even remember where I met him first, but the second time we, I guess, virtually hung out was he had just happened to be doing like a drinking night thing. It was like at the end of the year, I believe. Yeah, I think it was like at the turn of the new year. And so it's just like a bunch of us, like 9 or 12 of us, and we're just streaming, but we're drinking together, and it was hours long, and it was just, we had such a blast, and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, all you guys, I look forward to doing these. That's why I was really bummed when I got the news that we had to cut the Saturday show with Salty Nerd until we just got to get them. I got to get them more sponsors, man. I got to get because they only have so much time.
And that's
you see how much content they put out.
We're going to be doing that this year. We're going to get a sponsor. I've been looking into it over the last 8 months, and that's I'm having a meeting today with Pat S and Mexican Iron Man. We're going to have a teleconference here in about an hour, and we're going to be talking about merchandise, because I'm going to go into the whole hashtag backdoor.
No, man, like if you guys
ever want to do shirts with this stuff, I want a shirt that says I watched Pop Culture Minefield and all I got was this bag of dicks, and then in small print.
Right. Yeah, I remember we were talking about that last night. So if you guys ever want to pick my brain, I mean, I'm that's what I do. It's marketing, and I'm the marketing guy for them, and I own a marketing company.
Well, you and I, because I come from a marketing background. And I'm the only person.
I think you have to be a freelancer.
Didn't go to college for it, but was in every marketing meeting with the company, because I am biologically, genetically designed to think outside the box. It's not my fault. It's not anything I did. All my family are very creative people. We always are thinking outside the box. And so I've been working for ad agencies, marketing companies for like 20 years. And I would be in these meetings, and I've got no education whatsoever in marketing or self-help. I wrote scripts for one of the top sales marketing magazines in the United States.
Nice.
For positive thinking. And then it would get approved by Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Oh, wow. I actually have a couple of his books right there.
He never changed one of my scripts.
Right there.
Yeah. I worked with him. I did
like
a comic
Wayne
strip.
Dyer.
His head would magically appear at the end of every comic strip to explain, the way you're going at this is the wrong way.
Right.
And I wrote one of the scripts I wrote and drew ended up in the AP Newswire internal news magazine to their staff, because it had a guy talking to somebody overselling a product. And he's like, talk, talk, talk. And the guy says, I'll take 2. Talk, 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 talk. I'll take 2. Talk, talk, talk. And he goes, do you ever shut up and listen? I said I will take 2.
Right.
You know, and and the editor of the magazine is like, you write really good stuff and you're funny, and so I was always like on it. I was very lucky with my career.
Yeah,
and I've got with some big top magazines. People, because Six makes fun. She'll say it. Watch her. She'll do it again the next chat when I bring up working for a comic company. She goes, "What? Gary does art?" And this is the thing that you learn in marketing: always be selling.
Oh yeah,
you have to always be.
You're
selling.
always exactly.
And so when I'm talking about my artwork, I'm actually promoting myself.
Yeah, everything
that's how I get work.
You're selling something or you're selling yourself, and every interaction is a sale. You're either selling or being sold. It really, like, I hate to bring out all that jargon or whatever, but that's just the truth of the matter.
It is
anything in life, like
just don't be an asshole about it.
Well, yeah, and that's what you were talking about. Like that sounded like somebody's like being like a heavy closer. Close.
Yeah,
close.
so,
Like,
well,
shut up and listen.
That's the problem. Is a lot of closers, when they're first learning, in particular, they don't actually know how to close, because you should know when you've closed the deal.
Yeah.
You have to be acutely aware of body language, because you really have to be able to do that. You have to be a profiler.
I've never been a closer, and I've always thought that was weird. Because I never had to when I was in sales in the my mom's in the chat. Like I'm ashamed, so hopefully she doesn't call me out. I don't want to tell you exactly the 2 different types of things I was selling.
I just read what she said. Sponsor with company promoting
ADD medication. Oh wow.
Let me just show that real quick. I just fucking saw that cracked me up.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm going to tell you one thing before I move back to the chat, which is I worked for a company in Phoenix called Yodel. And Yodel is an amazing marketing company.
I'm familiar with Yodel, actually.
And I went through training and I hit the floor my very first day. I was the only salesman to ever get a hat trick on their first day.
Nice.
I got to ring the gong 3 times, and I got a Mikey.
You got a gong.
Out of this.
So yeah, like everybody's got, like, we had a bell.
3 in one day.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, marketing is really important, and I know how to sell things. I just don't like doing it. I hate something that's not mine.
Okay, see, this is where exactly. So this is the thing. I used to sell somebody else's product, and for me, the way that I always did it was as a transfer of enthusiasm. So I would just always I had to believe in what I was selling, and I had to make myself believe in it, or I just wasn't believable enough to transfer the enthusiasm necessary, because I didn't close. I never had every time I made a sale, and I actually was like the salesman of the month several times, and actually got a really cool ring for it that I lost during my birth of my first son at the hospital, because I think somebody stole it, but whatever. And just looked like a class ring. And I never had to ask somebody, like, they always would, like, how much, like you were saying earlier, how much is it? Like, how much, like, you can, they always stop me, I never had to ask for the sale, which was just because of the approach. Cause I always took I'd spend time. I mean, when I did one of the things I'm not ashamed to talk about is when I worked for Allstate and I sold insurance. This was in the late 90s, and I did commercial insurance. So I would take, business owners, like, we'd go out for a round of golf, you know what I mean? And we would just hey, I would just hang out with these people, be friends with these people, have drinks with these people, get them to know me, because I'm kind of, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm a likable guy. The first impression's great.
Okay.
It's the 4th or 5th impression that kills it for me. But but the first
time I take my pants off, they just go, no.
So it was always, it's hard to say no with a smile on your face, and it's a lot easier to do business with somebody you like if you don't know or trust them already. You know what I mean?
Well, one thing they that I learned in doing sales is controlling the conversation. You have to control the conversation. You don't want to be a bully, but you need to manage it, because if it gets out of your hand and gets the other person, you're not going to close that sale. It's just not going to happen. But I wanted to point out that Monkey Jeebus, I'm getting samples together to get work at my friend's production company doing storyboards. I've done a lot of storyboards, man. It's fun work.
Hell yeah.
really enjoy that shit. I hope you enjoy that shit, Monkey.
My
That's some good
son
stuff.
does those for shits and giggles. I've shown you his.
I don't
work,
even know
right?
what this means. What do you mean, Kyle?
Gary whiffs. What? Like, I don't know what that. I'm not hip with the lingos. He
Just
like
do
a
the
millennial?
hashtag backdoor Gary. You're good at that one. I love you, Kyle. All will be okay. We survived Jimmy Carter. That's right. I have said that the previous that two-term president in the 2010s was as bad a president, if not worse, than Jimmy Carter. I think it's almost relatively a tie, because Jimmy Carter just had the worst domestic policies, just terrible.
And you know what upset me the most? And this is like, without getting too much into it, what upset me the most is I bought into that shit the first time around. I was all about it. And then I was so like just, I don't know. I made a complete 180 in the middle of his first term and was just.
I wasn't sold from the get-go.
Yeah, well, see, and that's maybe it's because I'm younger than you.
I knew what he was.
But,
he wasn't a true politician.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
I mean, I'm ashamed to admit this, man.
He was an activist.
That's the only time I ever like politically volunteered for shit in my life, was making phone calls for that shit, man. And
then you get mad at yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you do the Jim Carrey thing in the bathroom where you beat the shit out of yourself.
Yeah.
But Mark D with a C, when you have your own business, you have to learn everything. Yep. My dad started our family business in 73. Someone asked me what I do. Everything from emptying trash to the website. There you go, man. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you need to free up some time, I can help you with your website needs.
Well, I definitely want to talk to you because.
I was talking to him, but sure.
No, I'm talking to you. We'll talk after the show, because I do have to hurry up here, because I got a phone call coming up with
you were
Mexican Iron Man and Pat. Howdy, Zacharod. Good seeing you again. Martin, of course. Same, but not a computer guy. Still work within the family biz. And there you go.
Delegation, time management, and delegation.
And as I understand, I think I read that the internet goes backwards in Australia. I like bad science.
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat, except around the edges where it's round. And it's round in the other way too. It's round, but it's also got a curved edge. It's weird when I sell stuff, people act like they're upset and mad. Then a day later, well, I'm going to tell you something, Monkey. I sold for Toyota down in Arizona, and it was one of the top dealerships in the United States. And I got demoted though too, but I really wasn't looking for too much profit. I just wanted to make enough money to pay my bills. So I cut people a lot of deals. And sometimes, like when I sold to my own family, I made nothing on the deal. I wanted to make sure that they got, like my nephew, he was in an accident, totaled his car. I got him into a new car. But I got really bummed out because one of the people I thought I'd helped, because they got pre-approved, got to take the car home, but then when it through the final financing, they did not get approved. And they had traded in their car, and it was already sold, and they had to bring in the car that they didn't get.
Oh.
And that made me just want to quit. It really did, because I was trying to help this couple.
Wow.
And when I found
that
out
doesn't seem right or legal. Like they should have, like they sold their car already.
It's a weird thing the way those things work, man.
Did they get any money for the car that got sold, or like that's?
And they should have.
Yeah.
And because I talked to financing, they should get the money for that. And next thing you know, two things: that situation mixed with me going off on one of the other salesmen to their face. They were talking to me. And I said, well, I don't want to talk to you about this. And I sat down, and they just kept talking. And finally, at some point, I acted like I was unaware. I went, oh, you're still talking to me. Why are you doing that? Have you not got the idea yet that I don't like you? I think you're a douche nozzle. I don't like you. I don't know. You're misunderstanding. You're laughing, and you think that I'm fucking with you. I don't like you. I think you're a scummy human being. I got demoted immediately after that. I got sent to another dealership on the other side of town that just I quit after 2 days. I'm
See,
like,
that
"Yeah,
was
I'm
something
done."
I could never do. My dad, so my parents got divorced shortly after I turned 14. But my dad was in the car business my whole life. Like I don't know about his, but like when I was born and the earliest memories, he was like a mechanic, and then he got up to like a service writer, at a dealership, and then he became a
Yeah.
car salesman, and then he got into F&I, and then he became a manager, and then he moved to Seattle and had his own dealership, and now he sells freaking health insurance. It's weird because like that was out of nowhere, but he was never home. He was always, it just like, like any time I spent with him was like, it was cool. He always had a BMW that we didn't own, that would come like, that he programmed cars, so we always had like cool cars,
Right.
but he, only time I got to spend with him, like, I'd have to go to his dealership, and, I get to, and that's not really any fun, but I did learn a lot of stuff, like, that's why I got into Brian Tracy and things like that. But so I was just like, man, I could never sell cars because it just seemed like it took so much. Like he worked like 12, 14-hour days, and just because like he's chasing, and like, if he had like a fire day, and he made like a sale or two, and it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, he's like, yeah, screw it, I'm heading out, guys. But like, he's chasing the dragon some days where he'll be there for as long as the dealership's open. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I hated that growing up. So that was something I was like, I don't know. I've sold all kinds of stuff, never cars, never cars. So
Yeah, and I really shouldn't have. My daughter's boyfriend at the time, his parents owned the Toyota dealership, and they just really liked my personality, and they wanted me to come work for him. But I worked in the internet division, so I didn't make cold calls. These were all warm calls. This was somebody that wrote in, I'm interested in your Lexus.
My friend Amanda does that, right? She gets to work from home. She does that for what's that called? CarMax in Henderson.
Yeah. See, I enjoyed that part of it, and I liked helping people and then making a few dollars off it. But I got to tell you, man, there's something soul crushing about when you start questioning, why did I sell them that extra stuff? Upsell. No thanks. I'm not that kind of person. I can sell what I do. I walked into the group that made Iron Sky, and if you read the introduction by Miko in the graphic novel, it's actually the afterword. He's talking about how I got involved with the project because it was all actually about the entire project, but he brought up the part where I came in, and he says the funny thing about Gary is Gary just inserts himself into a situation. I walked up to them and I said, hey, you're making a movie about Nazis and military and stuff. You need to do a comic book to help promote that because, the only thing cheaper than a comic book to promote a film is just word of mouth. They like that. And I just said, I'm your artist. I'm a military expert, and I can draw the shit out of Nazis.
So who was talking about storyboards earlier? Because like so my son.
Well, that was Monkey Jeebus.
Okay, so yeah, because like my youngest son, he does. I've shown you his art. He does a lot of these storyboards for these ideas, and he's working on. I actually have his script up here. It's called Insomni. Insomni, but they're like the characters, like it's crazy. Like this kid is super talented. They're all like there's one species called tree cores, and so it's all like living plant-based type of organisms. So he's got like crazy like mushroom people, I forget what they're called. The people that look like trees are called tree cores. His main character is this girl called Pine, who's an archer, but she's like some kind of plant. They're really fascinating, but he's doing all these storyboards. I'm like, damn, son, that's basically like the way he's putting so much into it. It's basically like a comic book. We could use this and pitch this, or do a Kickstarter or something, or you could make this. Like he's
here. I'm going to show you something real quick. I worked at Valentine's Day 2 years ago. I woke up and I discovered I was working for Tom Hanks, and But then it took a whole other night to go by before I woke up like this at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, I work for Tom Hanks. Because like on Valentine's Day, hey, I work for Tom Hanks. It's cool. Hey guys, I work for Tom Hanks. And then like I went to bed and I woke up the next morning going, oh my God, this changes everything.
Right.
But here, I'll show you the film. It's still not made. They're still working on it. It could take years for some of these things to get done.
Right.
And well, I'm aware of that. But because I work for Dale Dye from Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers, and all that shit, this is the logo I designed for the film. It's on the IMDb page. And here's some of the storyboards. I can't show you all of them, but I can show you a couple of things. Like, you know, here I am doing storyboard for a bazooka scene where they blow out a house that's held by Nazis. Let's see. This is some of my favorite stuff right here. I'm going to open this all the way up. So
do you have just because like just asking for my son? Is this software?
Look at that fucking artwork,
dude. No, that's that's for a storyboard, especially like. So that's what I was about to ask. Like, what is there? Is this in a program, or do you just do this like in Photoshop?
I did this digitally. There's actually video of me drawing one of the panels somewhere on my channel.
And we talked about this before. You use Photoshop, right? Is that right?
I use Photoshop.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly.
I did that, and then me too. And my buddy Bobby gets on to me all the time. He's like an illustrator guy, and then my son uses. He's got two things. He's got the iPad Pro, so he uses whatever that is. I forget the name of it. But then on his Surface Pro, he uses something called Creature that he likes a lot. Yeah, but it's kind of cheating. Like you can make the perfect lines and stuff. Like I guess that's the point of using.
Oh, I designed this too. The coin. I have the coin somewhere around here. It's military guys love coins.
Yeah,
we love getting coins, and that was the coin I designed. No Place to Die, and on the other side it had the Screaming Eagle.
You see, you got to work on your.
Oh no, it had this logo. There. What's that?
So you got to work on your file.
Oh, this is an old one where stuff got
new folder,
together.
new folder two.
Well, this is because I was in a rush after the fire.
No, I feel you, man.
And I had to file. I had to work quickly to get everything in there.
Yeah.
But let me shut that down and stop sharing. But Dale Dye is awesome. I love working for him, and I am very proud that he, and all the years I've been working for them since 2006. I design all their logos, everything. I do all their book covers for their publishing division called Warriors Publishing. If I don't paint it, I still design it. So I get paid the same amount no matter what. And
that's cool.
It's the one of my.
But it's also not because like if you think about it, like it's cool when it's cool when you don't have to color.
I set a price.
Oh, okay.
Because they're family to me, and I said,
you.
this is as much as I want to get paid by you. I don't want you to pay me more than that because
I think this is why we get along, man. We have the more you and I talk, the more I realize we have in common. Because I'm a simple, like you were like, I was never trying to make a bunch of money. Like,
yeah, I don't want to call you.
I'm kind of the same way.
I mean, you're kind of retarded, but
well, no, I mean, I've always said I'm like a simple man. I don't need to drive. I'm not my dad. I don't need to drive a BMW. I don't need to own a gigantic ass house. I mean, a swimming pool would be nice, but it's like I'm not greedy for like money. I'm greedy for like artistic expression or relief, or I love helping people. Like my favorite thing about when I do logos for people or arts, or like I'm doing all the Salty Nerds right now as tunes. I love like the joy that they get if when I do a good job, like that. If this were Star Trek and I didn't need money, I swear I would do that kind of shit for free just because I love that feeling.
This is what I love doing.
Yeah.
I love portraiture. I've been doing it since I was a kid.
God, that looks good.
Doing portraits, and this is my sister-in-law's niece. And my sister-in-law and my niece, New Eve, are regular clients of mine. I love that they trust me to do art for them. My siblings don't hire me. Fuck my siblings. Because your family should be the first people to jump out there and get you to do work for them.
Yeah, but they never want to
They
pay
want it
you.
free.
Exactly.
Now,
I
I'm
feel you
not
there,
saying
brother.
anything. I'm not really saying anything, but my siblings are all Jewish. There you go. Not saying anything. You figure it out yourself.
Let's bring this full circle. What did you say earlier about the something menorah?
The menorah, the labia minora.
The labia minora.
Santa Dork night.
She's giving me grief about I'm not shaving until like the end of March, and she's giving me grief because all this white. So
yeah, one last thing before we go, I will say this: I'm a student of Drew Struzan, and Drew, one of the nicest things. And I've showed people the email, and it's private, so I won't show it publicly, but I will show it to people in private.
Right.
The letter from him where he said that he considered me one of the true heirs to his style because I use it properly. He says, you use it right. The other people are copying my style, but not really paying attention to why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I had this one kid tell me, I think they say it's like biting a style or something like that. Like some people get offended by it. I think it's weird. It's just like music, you're inspired by things, as long as you're not flat out tracing something, because a lot of the work that I do has a very Johnny Bravo or teenage, what is it? Some drama. And I don't even know this stuff. The other people point out to me. That's why I don't even know the freaking name of it. But I like using thick, bold outlines.
Thick, veiny, bold outline.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop there. But I do find that interesting that some people are like what you just said. Like you had an artist recognize that he was like your inspiration, and that you did it right. But then you'll have other people who are like,
well, he actually even said that to me in one of our emails where he said, this is way back in the 2000s. And he said, because he saw my sculptures and he says, Gary, you've inspired me to want to finally sculpt. And he took a sculpting class, and I know the guy that taught him. I'm friends with the guy that was teaching the class. And he says, yeah, you're the guy that got Drew to come in to do that. And I said, yeah, and I didn't do anything. He just saw my sculpture and really liked it, and he thought I could do that. And so now he sculpts now.
That's awesome.
Nobody sees it. I've never seen any of his sculptures made public. But I'm going to show you a piece I did right here. This is one. This was Drew Struzan's Christmas gift a few years back. I'll share it with you. And this is just proof that I know how to use his style and do it correctly. Share screen. Here you go. This is my Doctor Who painting.
Damn. It's nice. And what'd you do that in? There's no way you did that in.
It's pencil.
Okay, so
that's actual pencils. Those are real pencils.
Okay, so you scan this.
And then I airbrush and brush painted it in Photoshop.
Oh, so you do it that way. So you drew it and then you scanned it. And
I still do it sometimes. Is draw it on paper, scan it, put it in, and then start doing my build-up painting in it. And that's all I did in this. And I used Drew Struzan technique in everything. And that was his Christmas gift.
Hell yeah.
And because he always sends me prints for Christmas.
Oh, my mom's like, stop telling everybody, or I hope nobody steals Dorian's ideas. I don't think people are that terrible, whatever.
But let's see. Let's get if you use photos of people I use photos all the time. And what you do in Photoshop is, and what I learned, and this is one of the things I learned from Drew. And anybody who tries to yell tracing at me, I go, you trace and see if you can make it look as good as what Drew does or what I do.
So, hey, because
it takes real skill to do what we're doing. So what you do is, and Drew said it to me years ago. He said this, Gary, can you set a photo next to you to your left and do an exact sketch of that photo? I said, yeah. How long does it take you to do it? It takes me a few hours. He says, now, you can make it look exactly like him, right? Yeah, it's a perfect portrait. He says, now, all I'm doing is projecting the photo onto the canvas.
So, or what nowadays, what my buddy Carlo did, is you put it into you put it into Photoshop, and you put a layer on top of it, and then you draw on top of the layer, like you would, like lower the opacity or whatever. But that's another way instead of projecting it. That's what my buddy Carlo does. My cat. No, Santa refers to what?
To your giving.
Giving and helping. Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, here we go. You get to meet my daughter. That's my baby girl.
Hello.
Hey guys, everybody! You finally met my daughter.
How old? Like mine just turned 13 yesterday. How old?
Yeah, Zoe saw your daughter. She's 20. Yep, 20.
You're 20.
My daughter's.
Oh, is my daughter going to be the youngest on the panel? That'll make her feel like really weird. I think.
She's youngest because Dave is 15.
Oh, okay.
But no, she'll
It's okay.
be
We're
fine.
all accepting of young people, though. So
Right on.
But we're getting ready to close the show up, and I thought it'd be cool if you dropped in and said hi to everybody.
Right.
Everybody, this is my daughter Zoe.
Hey, Zoe.
The world.
Hello.
This is my daughter.
Hello.
wait, the world.
Yeah,
live?
this is live on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh,
oops.
he fails to mention to the.
Yeah, I
this
tricked
to
you.
me.
That's why I'm a dick, honey.
You're doing the daughter show, right? Like where our
Yeah,
kids are
she's
just
gonna do it. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got to run. Take care, Mark D. We're getting ready to go too. It was really a good show today. This is just, we did an extra hour and a half here, just you and me, just talking.
Yeah.
Monkey. Yeah, Greg Lind, our tracers. Yeah. The way I see it, one should not charge one's family if then it's okay, but shouldn't ask your family to do work for you for free. Always pay them. No, it's like I expect people to pay me, but I do have rates that are for friends and family. And my that rate is anywhere from 1/4 to half the price of what I would charge a major publisher. It's always cheaper. It ends up being right around $20-$25 an hour. A plumber's rate. Tracers, as in stealing or not inking, like
Chasing
exactly.
me.
I totally agree with you.
Tracer.
Look, my late friend Mike Anderson called me that all the time as a joke, and it would really fucking irk me.
Yeah,
He said, I'm not a fucking. I ink my own artwork, you son of a bitch. I'm not tracing other.
I'm not a tracer.
But I have inked other people's stuff, and you got to be good at it.
In the I don't know if you ever did this trick, but like when I first started drawing, this would have been late 80s, early 90s. I would the way I inked it is I basically would just photocopy it. I would photocopy my pencil work.
I will share with you in a private chat on YouTube, and you can look at my posters. You can order any of my posters, and I will get it printed and sent to you. If you need it signed by me, I have to have them send it to me, and then I send it to you, and it's extra shipping. And I apologize in advance. But Zoe is an amazing artist too. Do you have any of your artwork there, honey? Look at the face expression she's making. Tell me that's not my kid. That's my baby.
I've got some, but
Feed the cat. Okay, Mom. Jesus, you're always putting me on
Zach
blast.
is our director. He's saying hi, Zoe.
hello.
Look at that. Dark Knight's mom says hi, Zoe.
Yeah, that's my mom.
There's no Y at the end. It's just ZOE ... as Zoe used to say.
Oh,
it's two umlauts over. Well, the umlauts, not two umlauts. It's one set of umlauts over the E.
Over the E.
Her name is Zoe.
That's funny. That's what I wanted to name. I have a 18-year-old daughter, and I wanted to name her.
And that's shit right there, Monkey.
Zoe
that
Lucille.
fucking pisses me off. Yeah, I get you.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people, and there's not just tracing, but like especially with these like t-shirt shops. Like my buddy Juan Muniz, he's one of the bigger artists out here in Vegas, and his designs get stolen all the, like he'll find like one of his designs being sold on a t-shirt on some obscure website.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
okay. Zoe, confirm, confirm or deny right now.
What?
What's on the screen?
What's on the screen?
Read it.
Oh yeah. He also had me convinced that I was born with a tail and that they had to have it
Surgically removed.
Well, hey, it's easy to fool kids, aka Santa Claus. You know, I mean.
Well, the Tooth Fairy one is the other fucked up one. I told her. Remember that one, honey?
Yeah.
And I always told you, what did I always say to you? Yeah, you're probably going to need therapy for that later.
Yep.
No, I was always, I was like, no, I'm giving you this money. There's no Tooth Fairy. That's from your dad, you know. And then Christmas, there's no Santa Claus. I'm buying you this stuff. This is for me.
Zoe was an amazing daughter until she hit her teens. And I spent half my time wanting to choke her to death like Bart Simpson.
I'm going through that right now with my 13-year-old.
It's okay. I mean, the feelings were reciprocated.
When did you snap
out
out
I know.
of it?
That's what led to it a lot of
So
the
I have
time.
something to look forward to with my daughter. When did you snap out of it? She's 13 and she just about a year ago.
When she moved out. When she moved out is when she snapped out of it. Once she started experiencing the real world, she started going, oh, Dad, you were right. Adulting sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up.
When we moved out, she had a breakup fight with me. And she was going to have that fight. That fight was coming no matter what I did. And I just looked at her and went, oh my God, you're breaking up with me.
boys are so different. My oldest son, who's 23 now,
we want the boys out of the house. Like,
you know what?
There's one too many dicks in this house.
I miss my son. I wish he still lived with me, to be honest with you. But it was also kind of different because I'd had him since he was 4, and it was just us until I got remarried. So like had him forever, you know. And
Tickle Trunk is here.
Hey, Tickle Trunk.
I love that
we've
guy.
said for the last hour we're wrapping up.
Between him and Mexican Iron Man, the two of them support our channel more than anybody.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I saw Mike earlier on Vader. He changed. They changed the Saturday morning. He was streaming like playing Halo.
Oh man, we gotta get this off here. Okay. Thank you, Zach. I think I did a pretty damn good job too. Zoe is an amazing, amazing daughter. She knows that I love my boys, but she's the apple of my eye, and she knows she'll always be my princess.
And she's probably got you wrapped up around her little pinky finger.
Never. What was my favorite thing to say to you when you were a child?
No.
Mm-hmm. I would do it sometimes. I was a dick about it. She would like ask something. She'd go, Dad, I want it. I went, no. And she would go, but I went, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear everything. Go ahead, ask me everything. She would get it all out, and then I go, is that everything? She goes, yeah. And I went, no. Because I've always been a dick. And
builds character.
I wanted her. It really does build character, because she's going to do the exact same damn thing with her kids, and I know she will. I've seen her with other kids, and I've heard her say things. My favorite repeat was when she went to school and told some kid unrelated to her, I will hit you so hard it'll kill my grandchildren. Like, baby, it doesn't work. He's not related to you.
Right.
But I want to thank everybody in the chat. Mr. Tickle Trunk, you got here right at the end, buddy. Got to go. I've got a meeting coming up with Mexican Iron Man and Pat S. And I think my wife's going to be in on the meeting because we got to talk about merchandise and all that stuff. But I want to thank everybody for being here, especially to Dork Knight's mom. Love you. That is great. I can hardly wait to get you on the show. I want to hear all sorts of gnarly stories about him growing up.
Oh, God.
And Dork Knight took over Keith's part because he had to go deal with stuff with his brother. And I'm sure he's going to get mad that he wasn't here for the first time you were on the show, baby. Mm-hmm. But I tricked you into being on the show.
That's honor lies to me.
Oh, and Brett Cohen gave us a super sticker. Go to the channel to see it. What did you give us? Because they don't show us. Oh, it's Kitty Cat waving bye-bye. There we go. Thanks a lot, bud. Brett is all the way down in Australia, honey. Australia is Australian. Australia is Australian for beer. And of course, Tickle Trunk says, Jesus, Gary, fuck off already. All right, I love you guys. We're going to get the fuck out of here. The three of us can stick together. You don't have to leave, baby. I just end the show, and then we go into private chat. Backdoor Gary. Eat shit, Monkey Jeebus. Love you, buddy. And with that, I will end this show, and I want to thank everybody again for being here. And here we go.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Remember, you can find us at Pop Culture Minefield on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again.